Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to this completely unprompted stream that we had absolutely no issues getting started the first time. And if you saw anything that would suggest the contrary, you are wrong. How's everybody doing tonight? Honestly, it's good to be
Absolutely.
back.
It's awesome to be back with you, man.
God, Trev, I've been live for 3 minutes and you just came in like some kind of Midwestern wrecking ball, smashing up the place with your tomfoolery and love of the Bears and cheeseheads. How you doing?
Not doing too bad. How are you doing, man? It's really good to see you again. You're back.
Thank
You're
you.
back on the tubes, and you're kicking ass and taking names, and we're. Why are we here? Why did you bring me to this weird dimension that you call TYTD Reviews?
Well, thank you very much for asking, Trev. It's because I don't know how many people know this. For the last 6 months, I have basically slowly been renovating the house from the money pit. Basically, anything that could go wrong did go wrong, and we spent about 4 to 6 months, like physically working on stuff, and about 4 to 6 months doing paperwork. But the good news is we're basically moved in now, which means,
Nice.
yeah, hey, big win. Which means that I get to unpack all of my movies and put them on my lovely film shelf to display to the world. But before I
Ooh.
yeah, a little bit of mystery and exoticness going on there. But
Nice.
before I unpack them all from their basically plastic boxes that are scattered around the floor, I thought it'd probably be a good idea to just go through my collection. Quite a few people over the years have said they'd be interested to know what sort of stuff I've got. So, yeah, we're going to go through and talk about the movies that I have in these various boxes. And starting things off, we're going to do my VHS collection and some box sets that I've watched. So, yeah,
Also, we should point out that this is a hand reveal for you to prove that you're not just like a random floaty logo.
absolutely, yes. Ooh.
Look, fingers.
Live fingers. I've managed to build myself a body out of sausage meat and tiny animals, so very effective. But enough about me. Trev, how are you doing? It's been literally ages.
I know. You can't complain. The theater is thriving without you, like trying to blow it up, which is always a nice thing.
I'll be back soon enough, don't worry.
Well, I've improved the fortifications, which include a moat, a dragon, and hunting dogs that are specifically trained to your scent and to rip apart anything that smells like you. So keep
You've
that
just
in
put an
mind.
extra padlock on the front door, haven't you?
I have. I figured that would be plenty to keep you out. You know, you are enthralled by shiny things, so like a magpie. So I thought that would be enough.
Damn, she knows my exact weaknesses. To the letter. To the letter. Yeah, I mean, so I should probably say as well that originally the plan was to sort of do my records last weekend, and this was a very unprompted sort of stream. We just sort of vaguely threw some stuff together. I had the most surreal experience with IKEA, quite frankly. So I ordered a storage unit from them to be delivered to the house so I could get it sort of set up, and the plan was to then sort of stream my record collection with the fantastic King Kurt. But
Hell, King Kurt.
yeah, well, hail, indeed. But then on the day, the delivery guys turned up, and it was the weirdest thing. So we ordered 10 small pieces of furniture. And when I say small, what I mean is like little pots or pegboards. And we ordered two big things, which are like storage units. Well, they handed in all of the little pots and stuff, and they just sort of smiled at me, like really kind of like big grin, like happy to be here, big smile. And I was like, oh, great. So where's the big furniture? And they just sort of went, yeah, yeah. I was like, what? And they went, yeah. And I was like, no, the big furniture. We've got like storage units and stuff that we need to have. None of that's here. This is just a load of pots and bits and pieces. And they just kind of smiled and again kind of nodded and then started to walk out of the house. And I sort of stood on the step of the porch and sort of shouted to them, you've forgotten two of the big storage units. These are the things we ordered. And one of them turned around, gave me a really big cheesy grin and just sort of gave me two thumbs up.
Those cheeky sweets. I tell ya, the non-stop cheeky.
It gets weirder. So, like, I sort of shout to them and go, you haven't dropped the furniture off. It's still on the truck. And he sort of looks at me a bit confused, goes to the back of the truck, opens the doors, and I'm not joking, for literally 2 seconds. He just sort of goes, looks back at me and goes, yeah, mate. And then gets into his car and revs the engine up. And I'm sitting there thinking, he's going to drive off. He's going to drive. I don't know what. What? So, bearing in mind as well, I should probably point out, this is 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I don't normally rise before midday, so it was a miracle I was awake at this hour. So they start driving off, and I had to sort of chase them. So I sort of run.
Oh my god!
So I run out of my house, down the street, in a pair of yellow neon Crocs, waving and flailing like the train with my lover on leaving the station. And eventually they spot me and they stop the van, and I sort of bang on the window, they wind it down, and I go, you didn't drop off all the furniture? And they just went, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean, yeah? Today's the delivery day. And he sort of went, hang on a minute, and he pulled his checkboard out, and I went down the list and went, these two items, you haven't dropped them off. And he just looked at them, looked at me, looked at them, looked back at me, and went, oh yeah, not in the van, mate. We'll get you something new. Wound the window up and drove off whilst winding the window up. And that was it. I just stood in the street, just very confused.
You know what you needed to do? You needed to hold a boombox over your head outside the window and look longingly at him.
I see.
That's how you deal with van drivers, really.
See, if I'd have had the time, I would have dressed like the Swedish chef from the Muppets and chased after them properly. You know, really gone for the full effect. But but yeah, it's completely surreal. So about 10 o'clock, I had to sort of come back in, and my partner was in bed still and was like, have they been? And I was like, yeah, but they haven't delivered anything really. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, they just haven't dropped anything off. So cue a lengthy call to IKEA that Sunday morning, and apparently they're dropping the actual furniture off this coming weekend, but just bizarre.
That is strange.
Honestly.
So Kurt says, no, that's okay. So Kurt says, okay, the image of Dan running down the street chasing an IKEA van wearing Crocs will never leave him.
Well, if you can imagine this hand kind of, you know, basically.
Okay, now we need to get you like finger-sized Crocs.
Well, so I can kind of
yeah.
Like that. Okay, that makes sense.
I can only picture you as Cousin Eddie now, ever, wearing yellow Crocs.
No, I don't want to impose.
You're gonna stand out there for the rest of the day though and go shitter's full until they come back.
You know, they actually played that polka version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in one of the supermarkets over here quite recently, and all the way around the aisles, all I could keep saying to my partner was, hey, have you checked our shitters? Also, how rude of me. I should say, hello, Kurt. How are you doing? It's been too long. It really has.
John's in chat as well, so...
John, welcome. Hope you're keeping well. Right, well, I suppose we should probably get this show on the road with the tape that's actually in the foreground here, which is a lovely copy of City of the Living Dead. It's a Lucio Fulci film. Not one of my favourites, but I kind of picked it up in a haul a while ago. This is actually the less liked cover. There's three covers for this one, and one that has a sort of iconic artwork with a little sort of proper font spelling on it. another version that
Nice.
has like a cheaper font version, and then there's this copy which is often bootlegged because it's really cheap and nasty, and it's got a little skeleton man on it who isn't in the
It kind
movie.
of. What's crazy is I look at just like not without even reading the City of the Living Dead, that it looks like a kids movie to me.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
it it's so weird.
Well, given the censorship of the BBFC at the time, it might as well have been.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
Well, and it's got the 18 plus on there still. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, got the little. This was basically they re-released it, I believe, with the correct sort of post certificate markings on it. But yeah, it's basically the sort of cheap and cheerful version. I don't know if this version is actually a bootleg or not. If it is, it's a very good bootleg. But yeah, so that's
John's
this one.
nice. John says, never seen that cover, never seen that cover for that movie. And Kurt says, Lucio Fulci presents Creating Rem Lazar.
Where all of your dreams are possibly limited. I'm pretty sure the
Absolutely.
tape is bootleg, by the way, because little cheapy white
Yeah.
label and it's glued on with Pritt stick. So,
I mean, that's how they did it back in the day, really.
well, yeah. So we're underway. One down, 382 to go.
Woo!
Oh yeah. Let's go for a seasonal classic. So here's my copy of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Very
Very
nice.
nice.
Love that film. We'll be watching it this Christmas. I don't watch it at Thanksgiving generally, but I'm more of a Christmas guy with this one in particular. But yeah, that's such a soft spot. It's probably one of my favourite Steve Martin films. It's either that or The Jerk.
I would agree with that. And this is just it works for any, whether you're talking Festivus or Christmas or Thanksgiving or Saint Nick Day or Krampus, whatever mood you're in for the holiday season, that works.
I've just realised this stream is giving very strong QVC vibes.
Would they normally? There you go. You do have a lovely Vanna White hand, I tell you. Your nails are so manicured, and yeah, it's very nice. Stop it! Stop it! Don't you be dissing on John Candy like that. He deserves your respect. If you're gonna commit to that, then commit hardcore. Want to see a full palm. Are you working on your full palm?
Hello?
Yeah, I got you. Did you? I can't hear you. Yeah,
I
are you?
can't hear
You're back.
you.
Right? Can you hear me
How
now?
very odd.
Can you hear me now?
One moment. Oh, let me just check something.
Oh, we can hear you, Dan. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
What has gone on here? Technical
Dan.
difficulties, folks. The joys of going live.
Jesus. Can you guys hear
One
me?
moment.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hang on. Son of a biscuit. Oh crap! The stream went away.
No, I'm still not hearing
Dan, can you
anything.
hear me?
This is very strange.
Shit.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very strange circumstance. Let me just check something. I tell you what, I'm just going to pause things very briefly and we'll be right back. We're back. We're back. Hello, everybody.
Are we? Oh.
We are back and live. I turned it on the second you started doing a laugh quake.
Oh, you're not. Do you wanna share your stream with me?
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
A little
Oh, it's
rusty to this,
still.
guys.
Hang on.
I hope you can appreciate. Just a little rusty at this. It's been a fair few months.
Dan is a rusty trombone at this moment.
Very much so. Very much so. Anyway, don't focus on the technical issues. Focus on the hand. Ooh,
Yes.
mysterious.
Ooh. Yes. Exactly. Just don't. If you're gonna have the hand on camera, then give the damn movie a hand job. Ooh. Oh my God! I need a cigarette. Kurt says thank you thing. Oh dear God! Don't no, that's rude. How dare you do that?
But here we have the wonderful X-Rental tape. Ooh, very nice,
Ooh.
very exotic for playing strings.
And rewound too. Very nice.
Oh yeah, we're a Be Kind family. Ooh, this one will probably be up your alley. Here is our next option. The wonderful Meet the Feebles.
Ooh, that's awesome. What a cool cover.
Absolutely. It was, I think it only had quite a limited X-Rental run. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful little piece of work. I do have to be careful with some of these tapes because back then they weren't too bothered about explicit things. So
no, that's fair. That's fair. Now, are you the psycho ape that they're talking, or psycho hippo that they're talking about on the front of the cover?
Almost certainly, almost certainly. In fact, that's 1-to-1. If you could see the rest of this arm, it would basically be that sat behind the camera with a cheese hat on.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, this tape does have a couple of issues with it. In the third act, when they do the big sort of gun showdown finale, my tape goes really fuzzy and bad. I assume it's because so many people constantly fast forward and rewound around that bit. But yeah, you know, it's a nice enough little tape. Somebody marked it with a seal to prevent thievery, which is always a nice thing. You covered it on your channel not too long ago, didn't you, Trev?
Absolutely. Actually, Movie Emporium did it with me. So absolutely fantastic. It was a fun video to do.
Even better, 2-for-1. Go and check that one out, guys. After the stream, obviously, but...
oh, yeah. I would hope so. It'd be weird if people did. You know, you want to stay here and watch this because there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Absolutely.
And that's what she said.
I'm really getting shopping channel vibes. I think it's the CFAX music. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up in this hour, including...
exactly. Well, your background is so posh.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a set of drawers.
Man, your set of drawers, I would not have imagined you wearing wooden drawers.
Well, it's IKEA, funnily enough.
Damn, this stream was not sponsored by IKEA though.
No, IKEA want nothing to do with me because I chased after one of their drivers and had a David Lynch-esque experience with them.
Well, you can't have at least a couple of those a year. What's the point?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Carrying on the trend of Peter Jackson, by the way, we also have the Bad Taste X-Rental.
Ooh, look at that.
Very fancy. Now they do a retail version that's about half the size of this. It's sort of down to there. Same artwork though, but I find that the X-Rental is a little bit richer, a little bit nicer coloured.
Yeah.
And obviously as well, we have a very nice colour box VHS tape spine. I love the little artwork on the windows here. It's very pleasant.
That's fun. Is it lickable?
I don't know. I only have a finger. It tastes like dust.
Fair point.
Again, keeping the Peter Jackson train going, we're going 3 for 3 with Brain Dead, which was and this one's got a bit of a history because it's from a video shop that I actually went to a couple of times in Wales. There's a part of Wales called Rhyl, which when I used to go, it was not a very nice place. But around the sort of mid 2000s, they basically started the bulldozers at one side of the beach and just like kept going until nothing was there anymore, and then they've sort of built nice apartments and complexes down there. But back when I went, it had a video shop that was stocking Brain Dead, and if I can find yeah, it's on the side here. I'm going to cover the telephone number just because I don't want people doing nuisance phone calls, but it's used to belong to Sue and Pete's Silver Screen Video.
Oh, that's cool. Back in the day of mom and pops.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So if you're in the Rill region, don't bother looking them up because they've been shut for about 20 years.
Oh man, but their tapes live on in you, and that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this one has a bit of a similar problem to Feebles. The beginning where what's the creature called in Braindead? You know, the one that starts it all, he bites.
Yeah, it's a Sumatran rat monkey.
That's the one, yeah. The scene where that all takes place, incredibly fuzzy. I think that somebody basically just fast forward and rewound it about 1,000,000 times to see the stop motion. But yeah, very nice.
I just did this one too, so.
Yeah, go and check them out. There's some really good reviews going on of these ones. Did you cover Bad Taste as well? I think you did, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, way back. I'm 3 for 3 with Peter Jackson, so.
Absolutely. Well, when we're finished here, go do that triptych because they're a very good triptych.
Very much.
Speaking of which, another I won't say nasty classic, but a lot of people have an appreciation for it. The X-Rental 4 basket case.
Ooh, nice.
Which is quite nice. Not the original box, unfortunately, but the original artwork, original tape. It's all rather lovely.
Was Belial flipping us off?
Yeah, maybe. That's a very long finger.
That's his stroking finger.
Oh, and also sexy red label.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah. And it's got Frank Henenlotter's basket case, not just basket case, because they care about the directors did Palace Video.
Absolutely, that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Credit where credit is due.
Certainly. What next? Well, keep the Henenlotter going. I've only got one other Henenlotter tape, and that is Brain Damage. Which again, yeah, it's a pretty nice. And this one is in the original Palace box, so you get the full effect of it. It is a little bit cut, but it's nice. It's a pretty cool box art, and it's a real shame they didn't carry this across to the home video release on Blu-ray, because Arrow Video picked this one up, if memory serves. And they usually do a thing where they'll do like a new artwork on one side, and you can flip it over to like the old style artwork on the inside. But
the first time I saw the newer box art, it looked like he was a zombie more than anything else.
Yeah, and I mean, this one sort of adds a bit more mystery. It reminds me of that Canadian film about that giant brain who attacks a load of people, and it uses its brain to attack them. What was that film called? I think it was called Megamind.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Although if you don't have any sodium, then you're out of luck.
Absolutely. No sexy red label for Frank Henenlotter this time, however. We just get the standard little label. A sad day for all, I'm sure you will agree.
I would agree. And, the fact that Elmer isn't anywhere in sight is a downright shame.
Very disappointing. This next one, I'm just going to put it out there. It's called Bad Blood. Now, I have been meaning to review this video for about 5 years. I picked it up 5 years ago, and every season it's been on my roster to cover it, and I've never got around to it. It's always the one where I kind of look at it and go, next season. Yeah.
Is your response like hell?
Yeah, basically. I mean, It doesn't look intrinsically bad, and I can't really find very much online about it. It might have an alternate title, possibly. It was
Mhm.
released by the same company that did Bad Taste. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those where every time I sort of go to play, it's always been on my shortlist. It's like the last to be picked at kickball. It's just one of those ones where it's kind of this and I don't know, Gatwick Gangsters, and Gatwick Gangsters always wins.
Well, I mean, it's probably the better of the two movies.
Well, true, true. And you do. Oh, this is another one with a little label on it. I'm going to cover the phone number again, but this one came from Cheshire, courtesy of Bond Street Video.
Ah, cool. What's
Yeah, yeah.
the little thing in the window there?
It's a
The
sticker
little
that says 22302M. If I've just told somebody their PIN number, I'm sorry.
It's probably when they got it, or that's a way for them to identify it as theirs. My mom always used to put mailing labels on all of her media.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice, nice. This one also has a little. I don't. It's very hard to make out, but it's got a little movie camera on the sticker bit. Um,
Oh,
Quite cute. I quite like that. I
that
will
is
cover
neat.
it at some point. I'm gonna have to cover it at some point. If somebody can motivate me to look into this, I will. Um,
I mean, I could hold off sending Gremlins to you until you review this movie.
but I want my Mogwai.
That's too bad. You're gonna have to review this.
Uh,
Get your ass in gear and do it, and then I'll send more Gremlins.
You're no fun. I'm just joking.
I
You're
know.
great fun. Um, right, I'm going to give you the choice on this one. Trev, you can have blue or white. What colour are you picking?
Blue. Let's do blue.
Dangerous choice, my friend, because you have just chosen Caligula.
Was white also Caligula? Be honest.
No, white I will actually show you next. But yeah, but my blue I have it's a cut version of Caligula put out by Electric Video, which was a porn company over here, unsurprisingly. Um, I don't think I can show the back of the box on this one, but you know that the tape is classy when all it has on it is a blue label that just says Caligula and nothing else.
It's so well known. It doesn't. It's like Prince or Madonna.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a last name. Just that's all it needs.
No copyright notice. Who needs that? That's for squares, dude. We've got Caligula. Um, I'm looking forward to playing my Caligula vinyl at some point in here. That'll be nice. Also, very rare film on loan tag. And I say very rare, not very rare at all. There's millions of them, but I got one, which is quite nice. And this one's
That
rare because
is.
it's the only one I have. Um,
Yay! You could move it around if you wanted to. You could have like your own little video store thing, like, ooh, I'm going to rent this film on loan, but ooh, I'm going to rent this one instead. Haha! They will never know. Made no sense.
delightfully devilish. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm going to flash the back of the box. I'm going to be risky. I'm going to risk a YouTube ban. Are you ready for this?
Absolutely. Let's see it. Oh! Oh my god. Now you've got me all hot and bothered. I don't know what I'm going to do.
The back of the box doesn't
sure.
have a synopsis either. I've only just noticed this. The back of the box just says, "Beyond your wildest dreams," end quotes, open quotes, a $25 million orgy of sexual excess with superstar cast, end quote, open quote, the most shocking adult movie ever made, end quote, open quote, full 2.5 hour version, it lies, end quote.
What the hell? How many of those quotes are yours? Just be
all
honest.
of them. All of them.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, Kurt says he's getting hotter than he normally does on a Monday night.
Oh dear. Well, that's a dangerous thing. I don't want to set you up for a week of blood pressure medication, my friend. Maybe go and enjoy some of that sweet Midwestern air.
Actually, it is really nice here. Like offhandedly, I can't tell you what it is from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but it's 50 degrees roughly Fahrenheit. So.
Very nice. Is it mild or cold?
Relatively mild, actually.
Decent, decent. It's freezing over here. We had a storm over the weekend that blew one of our fences over.
Oh no!
I
How
know
will
that
you
was the.
ever recover from the damage?
I know, right? Like, I to be honest, I'm never going to financially recover from this. So
Oh no!
I know, I know. um,
Oh
but
hey, John is joining us. He's filming a high school girls wrestling match, and he's bored. So he's pretending. He's hanging out with us in one earbud.
oh, well, thank you very much, John, and I hope that that isn't a euphemism. You know what I mean?
This is what he does for a living, so I'm pretty sure it's not a euphemism.
Ah, fair.
It
Oh,
was
it's that
you.
John. I thought it was Vertebraker John. John North John. How are you doing?
Well, John Vertebreaker was here, and he may be still, but John North is also here.
God damn, there's so many Johns here. That's amazing. Welcome.
And this is Jon, not John.
Right. Do you know if John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt will be turning up at 20 points tonight? Or
Oh,
I know you did
John,
send him his
other
invite.
other John is here too. So you now have John, and then you have John.
Right, I've got John John. Fantastic. Well, good to have you both here. It's been too long. It really has. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy tonight as much as the other sessions that we hopefully have planned. Um,
Hooray!
I'm going to be honest with you, Trev. If you'd have picked white, you'd have ended up with the Black Room.
Ooh, it's a white, but
Hmm.
it's a white tape box, and it's called
Yeah.
the Black Room.
Yes. We're British. We like to confound expectations.
I was confused.
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed in some ways. I wanted to cover this one for literally years. Again, it took me ages to find a copy because it was basically non-existent at the time that I was trying to hunt it down. There was almost no copies of it available. And I finally managed to get a copy for a good price because it was like going for stupid money back in the day. And about 2 years after I picked it up, Vinegar Syndrome put it out on Blu-ray.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing with everything. I mean, how many of your your unicorns have come about in the past
Oh,
2 or 3 years?
absolutely. The last 2 years has just been grail after grail. Every single thing that I had on my list has more or less come out. I've got like 3 or 4 titles, mostly Ken Russell films. Um, but yeah, so like it's mad. It really is. I mean, good on Vinegar Syndrome. I'm glad they're making this film a bit more widely available because it is quite good actually. It's like a modern take on vampires. It's a,
Oh,
gets a,
that's
it's
cool.
the ending's a little flat, but like the 2 acts building up to it is really quite something. But yeah, it's just one of those where I spent like 5 years trying to get a copy, got a copy, and then they just went, oh yeah, here it is, readily accessible, 2,000 plus copies, 20 quid, done.
Kurt says, I'm working on a sequel to The Black Room called Beyond the Green Door is the Black Room.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Will it be part of a trilogy, or are you just planning a duology?
I mean, you're gonna have to ask him that.
Uh,
John North says, "I'm doing good. A teenager just slammed into the mat is doing less well."
oh damn. Well, I hope she recovers swiftly.
That is the hope.
That is the hope. On the tape as well, Yellow Label and Yellow Label. Ooh.
See, now it's even worse. You're mixing multiple colors. It's like, I don't know, the Philadelphia or the Pittsburgh Penguins, or like, I don't know, the Iowa Hawkeyes or something. I'm all confused.
It's all jumbled up. They've lost it. They've lost the plot. Also, it's got the number 39 written on it for some reason. No idea why.
If it was 42, we could take that as good, but being that we don't, we can't.
Absolutely. I'm gonna blast through an entire series here. I've got the full set on VHS.
Okay.
So we'll
Ready
go
for
with
being
this.
smashed.
Child's Play.
Okay.
Straight away. Very nice.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
nice. My copy's all right. A little worn, but it's got the nice £1.75 a day hire sticker, which is quite welcome. And down here in the corner it says WHV. I think they were trying to say Y, but they didn't. So
I like the cover art too. That's really sharp cover art.
absolutely. Bring that back in for you guys. So, yeah, it's quite nice. I can't remember what the US cover art for it was. It might be similar or the same, but this one always holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, that's only 50p as well.
Can't be bad. Can't be. I spent significantly more than 50p on this tape. It was 50p at some point, but not for me,
That's
unfortunately.
okay. Just real quick here, Kurt says I'm planning an MCU level cinematic franchise of the Black Room, Beyond the Green Door is the Black Room, and John North says the wrestler is fine now.
Good to hear about the wrestler. If they need any chill time, tell them to get on this stream. They can enjoy us talking tapes and turkey. And to
Absolutely.
Kurt, I hope that there is a Beyond the Green Door, just past the Black Door in the Yellow Submarine in this multi-universe franchise. Boom, Child's Play 2. Again,
Ooh.
very nice. Very fancy box art. A bit more generic. I think the US version was the same cover.
It's close.
But it's one of my favourite Child's Play movies out of all of them. I think this one is probably my favourite. But yeah, I do have a real soft spot for this one particularly. Again, quite dull label. I'm going to be honest with you. A little underwhelming on the label front.
Yeah.
But
The sequel too, though.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it goes down market a little bit. You can't win them all. Which leads us into Boom, Child's Play 3. This one's a little bit of a rarer one, because there was a child murder case that got tied to this tape specifically, and basically as a result of it, a lot of copies were recalled or destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm quite happy that I have an actual ex-rental copy of the film. Also, this is a promo sleeve. It was given out to vendors to sort of try and drum up a bit of interest in the film. And you get all these lovely details about how to get people arrested for duplicating tapes on the inside of the box.
I do have to ask, though, is it on the front? It's giving Terminator vibes as well as Look Who's Talking. So
very much so, very much so. And the little blood trickle down there implies some kind of vampiric quality. Not that Chucky is a vampire, because he's not. He's a little plastic doll man.
Is he? Could have fooled me.
Obviously, sexy label. Not so sexy. Crumple line.
Oh.
Not a fan. Not a fan. And it's not my favourite Child's Play movie either, so...
Yeah,
but fair. I digress. And that then takes us to the second to last one, which is Bride of Chucky, which, again...
Yay!
Nice little one there. Again, I really like that one. I think it's probably my second favourite of all of the films in the series. This was one of the latter films to actually get a VHS release. I think Seed of Chucky did get one in the US, but I'm not sure about the UK.
Okay.
So this could very well be the last Child's Play film put out on tape, which is always good.
Nice.
And also the label, very boring label.
Oh.
Just white on black. And a dull.
Yeah.
But
you'd expect better.
Yeah, it deserves better.
Absolutely. Real quick, so the Child's Play 3 VHS just has a picture of Mary Whitehouse on it, according to Kurt.
Oh, hang on a minute, it just says redacted now, all the way down.
John North says, it can be a rather strange experience to have a calm VHS discussion in one ear and a crowd screaming frantically as two kids tackle each other in the other.
I'm getting the chamomile tea vibes.
You got the yin and the yang tonight, John. And then James just showed up and he says, I didn't realize you were live. Great to see you guys. Seed of Chucky probably got released on tape. So.
Hey man, welcome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. I know it for a fact it did in the US. I'm not sure if it did in the UK, but it probably did. It was 2004 or 6. I always get them mixed up, but yeah, absolutely. If you're just joining us, James, we're doing VHS and box sets today from my personal collection. I'm going to get them all sort of set out, and then I'm going to put them away. And we're hoping to do another one on the weekend covering movies and another one doing vinyl. So strap in. It's going to get intense.
Nice.
This is about as intense as it's gonna get. Um, another couple of quick wins. It's my copy of Dario Argento's Demons.
Ooh,
Very
very
nice little
nice.
box art. I quite like
Yeah.
this film. I should really rewatch it again at the back of the box there for anybody who appreciates this. Um, although downside, definitely a bootleg tape. Definitely a bootleg tape. The label is made with A4 paper, not even like glossy paper. It's off someone's printer, basically.
I suppose it's
Um,
got crinkles in it there.
yeah, it's not been put on very well, is all I'll say. Very shoddy craftsmanship from the 80s bootleggers there. They should really do better. Um,
You hope that they would.
and then, not to do a disservice even further, but after Demons, I also picked up Demons 2, which I haven't seen yet still. Apparently, it's
Really?
basically Demons, but in a tower block.
Yeah, it's kind of got Rabid vibes, like the original Rabid. Or
Oh,
Rabid,
nice,
not
nice.
Rabid.
Oh no,
Kind of
Triv has gotten
similar
locked into
aesthetic.
saying Rabbit over and over again.
Rabid. Let's see. James says, I just got back from Scrooged and I loved it. The Bill Murray movie. He says Seed of Chucky came out in 2004, so it probably got a tape release. Let's see. It could be official. A lot of cheap video companies are like that, so the Demons copy might be official. It just, if you get like the lower rent video companies, they may have just gone on the cheap. He says, I believe a lot of the original video nasties had dodgy labels.
Yeah, they did, and it was very hard to tell whether it was, as James rightly says, sort of cheaper print runs, or whether it was just somebody down the pub trying to make a few quid on the side. Um, Demons 2 here, back in the box for anybody who's curious. And there are a lot of curious people here, so I should know. Um, is not only cheapy paper label that's not very great, but also dirty. Dirty. Do not like. Do not like. I don't know what it
Did
is.
you
It's
eat?
sticky.
Did you eat soup and then wipe your face with this tape?
I think I might have used it to mop the side of my mouth after our sticky desk incident earlier in the
Oh,
year. Let's go for a break with tradition. I'll go with Class of Newcomb High.
ooh, love that movie.
Very, very nice. This is again the UK release. The US one has a nicer cover, if memory serves. It seems to just generally be a little bit better. This oversells the film, if anything. A little
Yeah.
too. I mean, this makes it sound like it's going to be like the Toxic Avenger or something, but a good chunk of the film is just people walking in alleyways looking a bit sad. So, back of the
James
box.
says that he loves that cover, and the UK VHS of Newcomb High is uncut.
Really? No, I did not know that. I shall have to do a transfer of it at some point. I do really like the artwork for this one. I prefer it over the US version. Now, if I remember rightly, this isn't the original box for it. The original box was like a Toxic Avenger green, like a sort of slime green color,
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
which is quite nice. Um, Again, very, very cheap label though. Very faded. Mm,
Oof.
not a big fan of the label there. Voting the label down. Voting Chroma up. I would love to try and get my hands on a Toxic Avenger someday if I can, but the
Maybe you have a new
notoriously.
white whale.
Yeah, it would be nice to try and hunt one down. So yeah, we got the Toxic Avenger right there. Where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to get this.
Hooray! It's being put over there.
Yeah, things happening off screen. My favourite.
Oh,
I'm
before
not.
you go on to the next thing, James says Virgin label with a wrongly colored 18 rating. Maybe
Have a
that's.
look.
I'm not sure if he's talking Newcomb or which one. I'm thinking he's talking about Newcomb High's logo or the
Could be.
18 rating.
It is a very vivid red on the 18 rating. I will give it that. I wonder if I'm going to get done because I just realised there's ass on the front cover of this VHS box.
Oh
Oh well.
no, you're gonna get demonetized on YouTube. Ah.
I hope they don't take my no money. Now this one's a bit of a tragedy, truthfully. It's my copy of Evil Dead 2. And I love this one. Again, it's an X-rental. And it plays perfectly fine. The actual quality of the design, I had to get a sleeve replacement for it, which I was quite happy to get that sort of done. But the problem with it was the tape itself cracked whilst I was trying to clean it. Like the shell was completely damaged, so I had to do a shell swap on it. And I didn't have the right tools, and I was in a bit of a blind, panicky rush. And well, I'm just going to show you the label for my sins is not great. I had to basically do a shell swap on it because if you look, the text at the bottom is for a tape called The Simpsons Go to Hollywood. Yeah, the original casing for it was a bit broken when I received it, but the spools were perfectly intact, so I just did a shell swap on it, but I had to re-adhere the label, and yeah, it still plays fine, and it looks, the picture quality is great. It's not damaged in any way, but yeah, it's unique to my collection because it's technically fused with The Simpsons. So yeah,
well, that's not a bad thing at all, I'd say.
No, and it's another one that's from Palace, so you get your Frank Henenlotter and your Sam Raimi on the same label. It's all good. It's all good.
Kurt says, I love that cover, and James says, the only X rental I have is for a simple plan. I think my pre-cert of Quest for Fire, I think, was also an X rental.
Oh, nice. Well, that's the thing now. Oh, you're right?
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, this is the thing now. I mean, I haven't really bought any new tapes in months, and the main reason for it is just the cost of it. It's just so expensive these days to go out and try and find, like, when I started collecting, you could get tapes, like, generally between the sort of range of £15 to £100. Like, £100 would be the sort of upper limit. You'd get some video nasties that were, like, stupid money, but if you went out with about 50 quid, you could pick up 2 or 3 pretty decent X-rental tapes. But nowadays, the minimum is like a tenner, and it just keeps going up from there. Which is why I was particularly pleased that one of the last tapes I picked up was Nuki. What a way to go. I feel dirty, just ew.
I mean, you could end the night by running it through a shredder if you really wanted to.
I could do. I could get it laminated, sealed in like some form of strange, unbreakable liquid. Label slightly crumpled. Also, apparently a security seal for Video City, based in Liverpool.
Nice.
This was on shelves, people. You could go into a video store and ruin your Saturday or Sunday night with a bit of Nuki.
Not that kind of Nuki, though. There are those tapes that have like the little humidity warning. Have you run across any of those in your travels?
You know what? Tonight may well be the night. I haven't actually purposely looked for them, but hey, we might find some. So and I also need to point out you could rent Nuki for £1 a night. That's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask for someone to pound you for this movie.
Yeah. Same label, by the way, and I've got it to hand. The same label that put Nuki out also put this out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Big fan of Bill and Ted. Love Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Excellent adventure is fantastic. I still haven't seen Face the Music.
Haven't either.
I need to fix that. I've got it on download. I'll probably watch it at Christmas. But really
nice,
funky, nice, very 90s tape, and very minimalist, but still quite elegant label.
Oh, very much, yeah.
Love the little
back in the day when you had the TriStar.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Bill and Ted there as well, along for the journey. And while we're doing that, I'm going to show you another one. I've got 3 on the same level. a robot called Gold Digger.
What the hell?
It's also known as Robot in the Family in the US.
Okay.
It's a lurid film. My favourite story about this is the guy who made this film went to Martin Scorsese's film school in the 80s, and he did all of the full course, and this was the movie that he produced as part of the film course.
That actually doesn't surprise me.
And according to legend, Martin Scorsese used to watch the films that were produced as part of his his film school. And when he watched this film start to finish, he was there for the entire duration in absolute silence. The credits finished rolling, the director came out. Scorsese sat in silence for 15 seconds, solid, and then ended it by saying, "Well, that was a complete failure. What are you doing next?"
That's awesome.
It's a film about a funny Eastern European inventor man who has an enemy who is also doing a thick Eastern European accent, played by John Rhys Davies, who builds a robot that can take care of his family because he's too busy. And the robot sounds like a dollar store Jerry Lewis. And I'm probably going to play it on the Discord at some point over Christmas. I can guarantee you that there will not be a dry seat in the house.
Well, I'm already not dry, to tell you the truth. Looking at chat real quick, James says, the last tape I got was Quartermass Conclusion, which was a bit of crap. I won it for a tenner. I got refunded as it was a bit moldy, but I was able to clean it, and I was kind of paid. The seller sent the postage back. Let's see, it wasn't an X-Rental or a pre-cert, it was like a video collection, Thames video collection tape, for crying out loud. And he says that a lot of video labels are minimalist.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's the thing with eBay nowadays and sort of resale sites like that is they can be so specific about exact details. It's why I don't really tend to sell tapes on eBay anymore, because what my idea of very good is to somebody would be pristine, to others would be poor. I can't. It's the same reason why I don't sell vinyl online on places like Discogs. It's because some people have what I feel is unrealistic expectations of how a 40-year-old tape should look and play. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I get it. Okay, let's do another colour game. Do you want pink or blue, Triv?
Let's go with the blue. You gotta keep the things rolling.
Excellent. Okay, then you have chosen The Return of Captain Invincible, the movie.
Ooh, is Captain Invincible awesome? Is he like Rem Lazar?
Rem Lazar. It's a film about an alcoholic superhero. A superhero becomes alcoholic because he can't keep up with superheroing, who gets pulled into a final fight with his ultra arch nemesis, played by Christopher Lee.
Okay. Would you say that he's like Powdered Toast Man then?
Kind of, yeah. Well, here are the two interesting things about this film. One is that Christopher Lee plays the main villain in the film, and he's actually surprisingly good. The second is that it's a musical with music written by Richard O'Brien.
Oh, funky.
Yeah, and Christopher Lee gets a song that's written musically and lyrically by O'Brien, and it's actually surprisingly really good. If you type in Christopher Lee song "Return of Captain Invincible," it's on YouTube. It's very good. I can't remember. I think it's called "Pick Your Poison" or something like that, but it's very, very good. The rest of the film is a total snorefest. It is a very dull movie, and again, I've wanted to cover it on the channel for a while, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's too boring for words. So
you survived Nookie. There's no reason you couldn't survive this.
It's the problem is it's dull in a way that you wouldn't expect, which in some ways makes it worse. Also, cheeky cartoon font.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a cheeky cartoon font. Sometimes that's needed.
Severin Films put it out on Blu-ray not too long ago. I might pick it up at some point.
Yeah, and Agfa put out, or something weird, or no, what is it? Was it Agfa put out Back Pussy? The standard for these things isn't exactly like, ooh, here's a cool thing we could put out. Let's put it out.
We're going through the floor here, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of going through the bloody four, Jesus Christ, A Boy and His Buzzard.
What the hell? It's got
Um,
shiny title though. That's got to mean that it's good, right?
so this is one of the rare tapes in my collection that I have from Australia. I found it in a house clearing. I reviewed it on my channel not too long ago. Painfully dull. 30, and I have a friend of the channel, Raymond Smith. Go check his YouTube channel out, Raymond Smith Films. He's fantastic. He does some really, really good reviews, and he's been on the Twilight Zone podcast with yourself, Triv, if memory serves.
Yeah, several times.
He did a supercut of this film that was just the walking parts, and it was 39 minutes long. The film is only an hour long.
I'm just looking for his channel. I'll find it and get it.
No trouble. So half of this film is just people walking around in the Australian outback, and a significant chunk of the film is a buzzard speaking with a very thick American accent, and that's it. Like a thick comedy American accent, and that's it. That is the whole movie. It's something to do with land prospectors wanting to steal a piece of land that's worth a significant amount of money that the townspeople don't realise is worth a significant amount of money. Painfully dull. Like I said, I reviewed it once. That was enough. I don't think I'll ever watch this film again. Even the back of the box is just the front of the box, but smaller.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Real quick, Kurt says, I was going to say I'm going to pick up the AGFA copy of Bat Pussy, but he can't bring himself to do it. James says, imagine if Bat Pussy got a UK release since 101 films have a deal with AGFA.
That you should absolutely pick Bat Pussy up. It is a fantastic film. I call it anti-porn. It's the only porn I've ever seen that actually makes me not want to watch porn. It's quite incredible. There's a lady in the film who says "she" about 800 times. I show it to everybody who will give me the time of day to engage in it, because it is such a bizarre film. It's what I created the Bat Pussy scale for, which is basically if your film is better than Bat Pussy, it's probably good. If it's worse than Bat Pussy, it's irredeemable.
It really should be part of Trump's plan to make America more pure, you know?
Yeah, I think it should be mandated. I think that in order to get your PhD, you should have to sit through both cuts. Also, this tape belonged to somebody called Daryl Jones, so if you want your copy of A Boy and His Buzzard back, just hit me up. You can have it. It's yours. He won't want it back.
Say that, but you don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he won't want it back. That film wasn't lost; it was abandoned. This one's a bit of a rare one. It's one of the few US tapes that I have. 1989's Split.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an eccentric sci-fi comedy, but it's very heavy on sci-fi. It's kind of like The Matrix before The Matrix. One of the fun facts about this film is that it was directed by a artist who uses mathematics to produce his art. Like through some kind of random number generation mathematic process. It's a bit like spirograph. He sort of generates these really creative visuals. And he made a movie in the late 80s, and it's a very strange film that I quite enjoy. And for the longest time, this was the only way you could watch this film. And then a company called, I think it's either Video Vengeance or Visual Vengeance, put a Blu-ray copy of it out, which I've picked up, and I have yet to watch it. So, yeah, today's to come with that one, but definitely recommended it. It's a very, very strange film.
The front of it looks like Lawnmower Man.
It very much has that kind of vibe. Very strange. This came from an American rental shop called Video Signals. So if you own a Video Signals shop and you want your tape back, let me know. I won't be sending it, but you can let me know.
Just a heads up, I think the lag between us and the actual YouTube channel is quite significant. Just a heads up. So as we reply to people, it's gonna be a bit of a lag. So, but we are responding. So
Cool, no worries. So apologies everybody if there's a bit of a delay. It's the time zones between the UK and America. Over here, it's 2024. In America, it's 1865. So,
you're not far off. Just
uh,
looking here, real quick. I should really get at least one NTSC tape in my collection, so most of my tapes are PAL. According to the flap of my VCR in the living room, it supports NTSC playback. James also says, I do wonder why it's easier to get PAL VCRs with NTSC playback than NTSC ones with support PAL.
so the thing is, it's not really advertised commonly, but most VHS players made after I think it's 1994 just have cross compatibility built in. They don't often advertise it because they wanted to try and avoid piracy still, but it cost them more money to put the thing in that just made it PAL or NTSC than it did to just leave it off. So they just left it off and didn't tell anybody. So it's not listed on every player that they will be, but if you buy one and try it, odds are it will play NTSC to varying degrees of success, but it will, odds are, play it.
Good to know.
Next up, we have Revenge of the Nerds.
Nerd!
Nerds. Love it. Fantastic. I think it's a controversial but very enjoyable college movie. Probably my favourite college movie out of all of them. Killer soundtrack. Triv very kindly forwarded me, I should say, the soundtrack for this movie on vinyl recently, which you'll see in the upcoming vinyl stream with King Kurt himself. So stick around for that one later in the week. But yeah, this one came from Fox. Got a bra, a wig, John Goodman. It's everything you want in a college movie, basically.
Hooray!
And we've got a fairly minimalist label, but red top. And this one is from Rainbow Video and Solarium in Warwickshire.
Ooh.
So you could get a tan and a copy of Revenge of the Nerds back in the day if you were so inclined.
You know, I think any good video store worth its salt was more than just a video store. Even if they were just peddling drugs out the back, you know, you had to be a video store and a tanning salon or a smoke shop or a drug distributor.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Which does lead me on to my next question, Triv, which is, when are you planning on installing a solarium into the theatre?
Well, you know, if you'd stop blowing up my theater, I'd be able to focus on that. But right now, I'm still trying to keep the place structurally sound from the last time that you sabotaged things.
I mean, I bought you the Wish.com version. That was just as good.
Yeah, 100%. Only people had to have seatbelts on because they were hanging from the ceiling.
Where they put the seats in your theatre is none of my concern. I saw a problem and I fixed it. Revenge of the Nerds 2.
That is not the answer I was seeking, but we'll take it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Nerds in Paradise. 2 problems. First of all, Lewis isn't in this. Very upsetting.
Aww.
Secondly, Poindexter talks in this.
What?
Like, regularly.
That's not cool.
No, not good at all. The film itself, not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's okay, but yeah, it's not as good as the Nerds one, honestly. It's basically they go abroad and the jocks try to get one up on them again, and it's bigger, but it's also dumber.
Yeah.
And they start to look a little, and this is no knock on people because I know people age, but they start to look a bit too old to be doing this in this one. And it's just kind of like, okay. Let me just check the tape label. Very generic tape label.
Oh yeah, and James says it's only a 15 at that.
Oh, which one was that one? The Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Very fortuitous. Which then leads us also into Revenge of the Nerds 3, which is a PG.
Oh. Hey, but at least nerds kick arse.
True. It was a TV movie that played on Fox TV back in the day, where Gilbert, I believe, is the only returning nerd. They have an all-new nerd cast, and Gilbert basically tries to teach them the ways of the cool nerd.
Here's the question though: was he actually small enough to stand on the ass of a jock? I have to know.
Surprisingly, yes. Surprisingly, yes.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. There's your answer. I forgot Bugger does turn up very briefly at the end, but that's it. So,
Well, thank God for
spoilers.
small things.
Spoilers, by the way. Bugger turns up at the end of Revenge of the Nerds 3, if you're so inclined.
James says, I would love to see a high school movie where all the actors are in their 70s.
Oh, you want to watch Grease?
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Basically, everyone in Greece is like at least 35, and the oldest person there is in their 60s. Have you seen Frankie Valli, by the way, nowadays?
Oh, I haven't.
Jeez, it's like he's turned into an animatronic. He doesn't blink.
What?
If you go on,
That's
if you
not good.
look up, yeah, if you look up videos of Frankie Valli performing in the last year or two, every performance he gives, look at his eyes. He doesn't blink. Like the full song, he'll just sit there with his eyes open. Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Okay.
He made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Okay, I'm going to do a colour choice for you again. Trev, you can go for black or purple.
Okay, here's the question though. Is the movie called In a White Room?
No.
Okay, we'll go black.
Okay, a good choice, because you have just chosen George Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
Hooray!
Another X rental. Surprisingly, apparently this is a rare one. Mine's trimmed, unfortunately. But like, apparently a lot of video collectors didn't know this version existed. A lot of people just thought the Intervision original Video Nasty release was it. But no, apparently they put a cut version out. Very strange. They removed some scenes, but they also completely changed the opening titles and credits for no reason. It's just they've just modernized the opening titles and credits. It hard cuts to like digital intro. It's very weird, very weird.
It's strange.
Although very sexy tape label. Ooh, shiny red. Savor the shiny. Try and get the
Okay,
angle
what
right.
level or what angle is your desk at right now?
Oh, I'd be surprised actually because I'm sat about 6 foot away from it, but I'm a humble man, Trev. I'm not exaggerating that far.
But do you need a minute, Dylan? Do we need to like turn around and cover our ears?
It's okay. I'm composed. I've put the tape away now.
Are you sure?
Fine.
We don't want sticky desk version 2.
Whew, sexy Dawn of the Dead. Which leads me to even better, sexy Day of the Dead.
Ooh,
again,
I like that.
Another X rental copy. Strange box art for the UK market. I'm quite a fan of this one, and it looks fantastic. It's really got that proper VHS fuzzy grain going on. Real soft spot for this one. Not as cool back of the box, but the Photoshop Michael Berryman pictures are very much well received.
I was gonna say lower right hand corner looks like he's seen some shit.
Oh, this little guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just got off a 9 to 5 at Walmart during the Black Friday sales.
Appropriate.
Not a sexy label. Awesome. Not a sexy label. Very, very militaristic label, let's be honest. Which is kind of in keeping with the film, but yeah. So that's my copy of Day of the Dead. I don't have a VHS copy of Night of the Living Dead, unfortunately. I'd like to get the set someday, but right. Should we do some films that I haven't seen yet?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I have. This is one of the coolest tapes in my set. It's Ninja the Killing Fields.
Ooh,
and it's holographic.
Oh, that is cool.
It's sparkly.
Ooh, I mean, it's not, Jack Frost, but still very cool.
Yeah. I have no idea what the film is about. Again, this is like Bad Blood. It's one of those films I've been meaning to review for years. And every year I just go, another time, sparkly box, another time. Um, but I also had the retail version of this that was just sold in shops. Massive downgrade. Not a sparkly box. It's tiny. It's just a completely black box with the words "Ninja the Killing Field" written in yellow font on it. Very disappointing.
Oh, what's the point of that?
Back of the box is shiny too.
Ooh, I like that. That's so cool.
And the spine as well is all sparkly arcly. Is the tape
Very
sparkly? The tape isn't
Probably
sparkly. The tape is very basic. And they've ripped off the video rental label. So we may never know.
I've got spray glitter over here. If you need some, we could cover it in glitter.
I think we should. I'll tell you what, if I ever make it to the States, I'll bring my copy of Ninja the Killing Fields, and we can do a live where we prettify it even more. Yeah,
I think you're going to get a lot of people calling abuse on that.
Let them.
James says, I think Ashens and Oliver Harper reviewed that film. It was made in Stewart's uncle Derek's VHS collection. They said it was crap. As in Ninja, the Ninja one there.
Oh, disappointing! But it's such a sparkly box. How could it lie to me?
Well, it's like Birds of Paradise. Regardless of their flaws or their strengths, they put on a big show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. You raise a good point. Okay.
I do that.
We'll go for another one I haven't yet seen. Highlander.
Wait, you've never seen Highlander? How could you never have seen How could you not have seen Highlander?
I've never seen Highlander.
Buddy.
I know.
Ow. Oh. Apple of my eye, friend of a friend, fly boy, pretty fly for a white guy, dude. What the fuck?
I know, right? It's my secret shame. It's.
If that's your only secret shame, you're actually doing pretty well, but Kurt agrees with me on this. He says, what?
I know.
Actually, James says, I've never gotten along with Highlander, bar the third act, really.
Oh, right. So there's a little bit of a contention going on in the Highlander fandom community tonight. It's okay. It's okay. We'll put that to bed. I do intend to watch this at some point, but yeah, basically I picked it up. I got it in a haul, and I was like, this is really cool, and I've heard good things. I should really watch it, and then I just keeps getting pushed back because things like Bat Pussy exist, and what am I supposed to do?
Okay, you're missing. Let me just say this: you're missing out on Sean Connery playing. What is he? Is he from Spain? I think he's from Spain. Like he's clearly has a Scottish accent, but he's playing a guy from like Spain.
All right.
I mean, he's got the whole like flocked look. He's dapper as hell, but damn it. Also, he's Egyptian Scottish. Okay, my bad. I apologize for that, Kurt. Also, Jen is here too now.
Oh, hey Jen, welcome. Hope you're well. We're playing it real smooth tonight with some VHS unboxing videos. Also,
Absolutely.
Sexy Highlander label, black, sleek, minimalist. I kind of like it. Obscure 15 certificates. Don't know what to feel about that. But please rewind tape after use sticker. Winner.
Absolutely. Let's see here. John North says, I've never seen Highlander either, and I was listening to a podcast earlier today where they were talking about it, and it's as an essential 80s movie. I feel like the universe is trying to tell me something.
Hey, Jonathan
Jane North, podcasts and movie reviews. You get your ass to the closest freaking Highlander store, you get yourself a kilt and a long-ass sword, and the movie Highlander, you sit your ass down and you watch that.
I will say, Jonathan, there is, I think, 4 or 5 Highlander films you could do in every version ever, I'm just saying. And that would then give me ample opportunity to go through those. Bold of me to presume I would be invited onto the every version ever of Highlander. After my vicious attacking of the 2006 Grinch film. Go and check Jonathan's reviews of the Grinch movies out. They were very, very good. I'm not just saying that because I was in them. They were genuinely very, very good.
I'll find his information and get it up there.
Thank you very much. On a similar theme, Highlander 2, The Quickening. Again, It was part of the same hall with the first Highlander. It's an ex-rental. Haven't seen it. Don't know anything about it. But Sean Connery's back, so
Hooray!
hooray indeed. Oh, you know, I don't think I've actually opened this before.
Really?
Sexy, shiny tape like the Dawn of the Dead one.
Ooh.
Mm-mm-mm.
You haven't
And this one's
rewound it.
orange.
You haven't
Oh, no,
rewound it.
it is. It's fully rewound onto one side.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong side, but it is fully
Mm-hmm.
rewound.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also coming soon, Time Bomb with Patsy Kensit. So lovely.
Ooh. Nice. Okay,
Mm.
James agrees with me on this one. Also not rewound. Bastard. Those are his words, not mine.
It counts as rewound if one side of the tape holds the majority of the tape. That side had one side completely wound over
Uh-huh.
to it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep. Sure,
I mean,
sure.
I'll
You know,
say
you,
it's
you you
anarchic.
haven't even been back a solid like 3 hours yet to your channel, and you're already lying. Time bomb aside. Also, James says, isn't there like 5 million different cuts of Highlander 2 and none of them are any good, or was that 3?
I honestly don't know because I haven't seen any of the Highlander movies, but I'm sure the Highlander fan club led by Triv will be able to clarify after an extensive week of research watching the Highlander movies.
Also, Kurt says he's charging you a $2 rewind fee.
Oh, god damn it. But I argued a good case. My case is there.
You argued nothing. And
I'm-
James says it's terrible when you get a tape halfway through and there's a chance you could have tape damage at that point.
I'm just going to be honest here. I don't know if this is Highlander 3 or 4. It's The Gathering. I think it's 4. Just says
Because
Highlander
3
The
is the
Gathering.
quickening, I think.
No, 2 is The Quickening. I got
Oh,
2
is it?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. There you go.
It's,
That doesn't take away from the fact that you didn't rewind the damn tape.
well, again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but Highlander The Gathering also is not rewound and also has tape on both sides rather than just sitting in one side of the window like The Quickening.
TYTD Daniel, I'm so ashamed of you. I don't even know what to say.
No, I shall hang my head in shame, Bo.
You better.
You
better.
I don't know what to do. I haven't even watched these ones. This is the mystery hour for me.
Oh, that's okay. But you need to watch them.
I do. And Jonathan North picking these up was very kind of him to do for every version ever, so I look forward to jumping on those. Of course, we kid. We've already recorded them, so they'll be live within the next couple of weeks. Isn't that right, Jonathan?
100%. James also says in a very chiding tone, it's always recommended that you rewind a tape to the start as it helps avoid tape tension and tape damage.
Right, but I appreciate what you're saying, but at the same time, if the full tape is sat on either side of the window, it's still okay because the tape density will be the same because it's on either side. Mm-hmm. If it's like a chunk on one side and a chunk on the other, completely agree. That's bastard behaviour. I don't approve of that. I realise I've just shown you one that is like that in my collection, but that's because I haven't seen that one yet.
You're not getting out of a $2 charge. I'm sorry. You haven't rewound it. You're getting the $2 charge. Actually, times 2 because now it's $4.
Right, well, I'm going to pay it, but I'm going to use your solarium and I'm going to be really shonky with my hygiene, so you better beware of that one.
I don't have a solarium yet. You leave my theater alone and maybe I'll consider it.
Oh shit, well what have I just used? I thought it was the solarium.
No, you destroyed my bathroom again. Thanks, by the way. I just got it fixed.
Hey, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Some evil pineapple thing just, like, helped me out because I slipped him at 20. Next up, we have Swordkill, which is known as Ghost Warrior in the US.
Oh, okay. Can't say I've seen it.
It's not bad. I've actually got it on Blu-ray and on video. It's basically a samurai falls into a vat of ice and freezes and is thawed out in the 1980s. And it's kind of a bit like a fish out of water film, but it's got a serious, more sort of dramatic edge. And he ends up like stumbling on a big crime organization and tries to take the gang down using old samurai techniques.
So is it kind of like Captain America, only not MCU?
Basically, it's the plot of Captain America: The First Avenger, only without the Red Skull. Instead, it's just drug gangs. But it's good.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. Cool box art as well for what it is. Tape. I like the blue. It's a bit minimalist, but yeah, it's okay. And fully
Yeah,
rewound, I might add.
very much so. It looks like it's a short, isn't it? Like it's not a
Uh,
full like hour and a half or two.
81 minutes approximately.
Oh, okay,
Mm,
cool.
an
James
interesting one.
says it's worst when you get a moldy tape and it's halfway through and there can be mold on the surface of the tape, and even if it's cleaned, it may have playback issues. And he also says actually it's fine to have a fully wound on the other reel. Technically, it's just annoying.
It is indeed. I agree with that. We can both we found an olive branch. Do I still get my $2 charge?
Yes.
Shit. Right. Well,
You're-
screw you. I'm gonna go drop a deuce in your solarium. I don't even have a deuce on me, but I'm gonna go drop one. I'll find one. I'm that level of petty. I will find a deuce. Deuces will be dropped. You're gonna end up with a deuce that's sunny side up, and that's on you. Total Recall.
You're such an ass. Oh shit. Anyway, Total Recall. Dios to Mars.
Detective John Kimball. Ah,
Oh,
great. Oh,
before you go any further, Kurt says, "Do they show you the? How do they show that you ordered a deuce at the Waffle House?" Well, Kurt,
You've reactivated my war wound. How dare you?
17 jelly packets at 6 o'clock, half a dozen handfuls of scrambled eggs at 3 o'clock, and one used condom right when
I don't think you can do that with a deuce. Um, That's the back of the box. Guild, a lovely company. Very minimalist tape design again. Not the sexiest in the world. It's no Dawn of the Dead shiny label. And to be honest, the actual box is no Ninja the Killing Fields. I really like Total Recall. It's one of my more favourite Arnie movies. I should really get the 4K at some point, but yeah. On a similar note, same label, and from right. Okay, so this one has a phone number on the front. Do not call this number. Do not, because it could be anything now. It's from Time T's Cash and Carry Crown Video. It's Eve
I'm
of
totally calling
Destruction,
them. Totally calling them.
and they put the name of the company down there. Um, it, have you heard of this film before?
I can't say that I have.
So it's basically, if memory serves, and I'm a little fuzzy because it's been a few years. I believe the plot is that they create a fembot that has a like an atomic bomb or some kind of depth charge installed in her, and she goes haywire
Okay.
and starts trying to murder everybody and activates the bomb. And a group of scientists have to try and hunt her down and stop her before she blows herself up. This came out a couple of years before Terminator 2.
Okay.
And it's very
So it's
Terminator
kinda
coded.
yeah, well then there was that whole glut of like Terminator ripoffs.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. It was a fun enough movie. I seem to remember it being all right. I need to. I think I picked up the cover on the channel, but I just again haven't got around to it. Crown Video really wanted people to know that they owned this tape. There's like 4 labels on this thing.
Well, when you're proud of it, be proud.
Yeah. It was an all right film. I seem to remember being just kind of like, all right. So, we'll get another
Real
thing.
quick before you go on, John North says, I already have little hope that my VHS collection from the 90s survived. Years of storage after a flood, but now not rewinding them kills them too. I really doubt they're okay. Let's see. John Cleveland says, I gotta go run, cook dinner, and watch a movie. Have fun. Kurt says that he's got a boogie as well. James says, Total Recall, my favorite Schwarzenegger movie. And he also says, surprisingly, I don't own any guilds. I really should.
Oh, stunning stuff. Well, thank you so much, Kurt and John, for dropping by. Hopefully, we'll see more of you in future. John, sorry to hear about your VHS collection. And James, completely agree. I think Total Recall is a solid Arnie movie. I do need to pick some more Guild up myself at some point with a bit of luck. But speaking of action heartthrobs, we also have Demolition Man.
Nice.
Real soft spot for Demolition Man. It's a lovely film. Fun fact, I think everybody knows at this point, but there's a different edit of this film for the US cut. So the UK cut has him going to Pizza Hut in one scene, whereas in the US I think it's Taco Bell.
Yeah, I didn't know there was another version of it.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in the world, because at the time UK didn't have Taco Bell, so... very damaged back cover. Not good. Big rip. But really quite cool videotape label. Warner Brothers, little hologram on there, and it advertises a film called Perfect World on the bottom.
That's sharp.
Now,
did you know how you could take care of that big rip on the back cover?
Go on.
You use 3 seashells.
And we're back to dropping deuces. What a... I didn't need 3 seashells for what I was doing in your solarium.
Yeah, you needed like 5. They needed to be industrial.
Basically. It don't get any easier as you get older, let me just tell you.
You're not that old.
Different one. Right, so this one is kind of unique. So this is a copy of Arachnophobia.
Ooh.
I haven't seen this one. I've heard good things, though. I seem to remember Jen's reviews from the grave said that she didn't like this one because she wasn't too keen on spiders. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure I remember her saying something like that. Why this one's interesting is it actually comes from a place called Valley Mobile Video, and this was where mobile libraries would just fill up with videotapes and go around and loan people from the streets.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat. Yeah. So the tape is, I'm going to cover the number because I don't know if it works, but the tape label is dirty label. Scuffs all over.
Did you use this as the 3 seashells?
I may have. This may have been one of the 3 shells that
Damn it, Dan. We had a discussion on this.
That caught my deuce as it fell into your solarium that you don't have. The QVC music is really helping things, I'm just going to say it.
Take a shot every time Dan says the word solarium or deuce, and you'll be drunk in the next 15 minutes. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, Kurt says it's a very naughty label. A very naughty label.
Naughty label. Ugh. Dirty. We have a preset guild. I don't know anything about this film. It's called The Motherlode. It's a family film with Charlton Heston. They go on a treasure hunt, but it's set in like Little House on the Prairie days, seemingly. What's happened is it's a pre-cert, but they had to cert it up after the video recordings act, so they just stuck a PG sticker on it and said, there you go, you're done.
James says, hey Dan, what is the name of the bar from Roadhouse?
It's the Solarium, isn't it?
No.
Is it the Solarium Deuce? Is it the Deucey Solarium?
No.
Is it Uncle?
It's right in front of you.
Is it Trivial Theatre's fancy restaurant for fancy people?
No, it's right in front of you.
Oh, I don't know. You're gonna have to.
It's the Motherlode.
Speaking of solid gold shiny label, ooh, Oh,
Pretty.
shiny gold, shiny gold.
Ooh,
Ah, so
pretty.
nice, so nice. We love it. We love it.
So from a
Um,
VHS novice, what is a guild movie? You've mentioned that a couple times. Actually, you and James
oh,
have mentioned that. What is
um,
that?
yeah. So Guild is the brand of that is the company that
Oh,
put the film out. They're one of
okay.
the longer serving. I think it was Guild and Intervision are two of the longer running labels. They went for years and years under many different sort of formats. So this will
Gotcha.
be an early Guild. I think this was 19. Well, it's so old
Oh,
that they didn't have to put a year of release on it. So
oh, I apologize. The bar from Roadhouse was not called the Mother Lode. It was called the Double Deuce. Kurt was right. James just wanted you to say deuce.
well, you know what? It was a real deucey move to double deuce the deuce. um,
He also says that his copy of Quest for Fire is pre-cert, but it has 15 stickers on it.
oh, nice, nice. Oh God, Jesus, right. Hang on. So, this is a ex-rental copy of the film Red Heat, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and John
Oh,
Belushi. Um, I haven't seen this film. There's another one that's just on my to watch list at some point. £2, which I think
oof.
must be worth it because if it was £1 to rent Nookie a day, £2 for Red Heat seems a bit more fair. Just saying.
I mean, we don't know for sure.
No, the problem is whoever picked up this box clearly didn't actually have the tape for Red Heat, so they just taped it off the telly and wrote Red Heat on it.
Oh God, I love VHS era shit. It's hilarious. At least it's
So
rewound.
yeah, I mean, you know what? They're not savages.
Yeah,
They're not
unlike some
savages.
people we know. Mm.
They may have destroyed the original Red Heat, taped it onto another tape, and then changed the label, but god damn it, they had some level of sanity. This one's a crazy VHS art. I always loved the VHS art for this one. It's called Nightmare.
Oh,
Man
interesting.
with the widest mouth in history. Park a bus in that thing. It wouldn't be so bad if they hadn't given him such a tiny nose.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, his face, he looks like a frog from the nose down.
Yeah, that's actually a surprisingly good film. I really quite enjoyed it. The plot is two college girls are traveling from one state to another to attend university, and they get pulled over by a lawmaker
Mhm.
who, if memory serves, tries to hit on them or tries to be a bit letchy with them, and they brush him off. And then the rest of the film is basically the cop slowly ruining their lives one at a time until they sort of stand up and try and fight back. Um, it's a it's a very it's one of those kind of films where when the credits roll, you just go, ugh.
Right.
And it's just got that kind of slightly seedy vibe to it. It's a very well made production, in my opinion, but yeah, really minimalist
James,
tape as well.
yeah, that's cool. James says, he looks like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
He does. He looks like he's made of clay.
Very much. He also
Very much.
asks, have you ever paid, have you ever actually paid for it? Or sorry, have you ever actually paid it? It might, or played it. It might be the official release, but lost its original label. As in, the Red Heat.
You know, I haven't actually. I just took it at face value that it was probably just a sort of replacement copy. But I'll tell you what, if I ever do get round to getting it in a player and getting it playing, I'll update you to let you know whether it was a legit copy or not.
Cool.
Um,
Well, we're holding you to it.
Good. I hope you do. I hope you do. Speaking of which, another one that I haven't seen, just called Ninja Killer. Just called Ninja Killer. Only the very brave or the very foolish would dare to be a ninja killer.
It doesn't look like anyone is being killed.
No, but it does look like Harrison Ford and Keanu Reeves have been paired up.
Oh, totally.
Back of the box, is really minimalist. I mainly kept a hold of this one because it reminded me a little bit of like those really cheap films that you'd just find that were shot for nothing and put out for almost nothing. It's very cheap tape stock, very basic label again, VPD. One for the channel. Basically, when I picked it up, I just kind of thought, you know what, this will probably be one for the channel whenever I get around to covering it. So yeah, the Ninja Killer sold for $12.99 back in the late '80s. Ugh.
Well, it has to be good based on price alone, right?
Possibly. No, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't show you the next one. For no other reason than it's got a great big massive fuck off swastika on the front of the box.
That's not
It's
good.
No, it's a film called The Heroes of Telemark, starring Kirk Douglas, Richard Harris, Michael Redgrave, Eric Porter. It's a pre-cert. It's one of the oldest tapes in my collection. I can show you the actual tape, which is a quite nice rank green video label. And what I also like is on the bottom, it says VHS Video Clubs, please rewind tape before returning. They didn't.
Nice. Of course. Well, you know, if you got a swastika on the front of your tape box, chances are good that you're not going to rewind shit.
I think I'm going to show you the back of the box. The back of the box looks like this.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. The front of the box has a rather angry-looking soldier holding a machine gun next to a giant swastika. So, yeah, I kept that one because it was a 2-hour war movie. And I don't own a lot of war movies, and it was very old. I think it's like I'd just guess 1979, 1980.
Oh wow, yeah, that is fairly old.
We're nearly at the end of box 1, ladies and gents, so there's only a box and a half more to go. Hope you're prepared for that one. We'll probably do a couple of quick runs. I think let's do a couple of quick ones. Right. We'll get this one as well. I'm going to go through more action hero ones that I've got that I think we can blitz through. So unfortunately, neither your avatar and my logo aren't available, so we can't Blue Steel. But Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis. I haven't seen that one. I got it in a haul and just thought, well, you know what, Jamie Lee Curtis doing cop stuff. I'll watch that.
It's cop, not cock.
Absolutely. Put the label on the wrong way round. Waste of time.
When you want your VHS player vertical as compared to horizontal.
It's a sin, my friend. It's a sin.
So it is not rewinding.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you guess.
We have more Sly Stallone with Lockup. More interested, really, in the coming soon for the Shocker movie. Sam Raimi again, I think. And also this one advertised as being unavailable on television for 12 months because of the fact that it's only available on tape. So, yeah.
Like not available in stores?
Yeah, basically. And this one came from a chain video shop called Extravision. £2 a night. So still nearly double the cost of Nookie.
That's how you know you're getting pre warm-ups, the main event, and cooldowns.
Oh yeah,
you're paying $2 a night.
If you're paying $1 for Nookie, I think that you should at minimum pay $2 to $3 for anything else.
Oh yeah. How much would you pay for Bat Pussy?
Can you put a price on happiness?
No, not that kind of happiness. Happiness.
Commando.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, it's the theatrical cut, not the director's cut, but it's a good little movie. I like it. It's solid. It's probably again in my top 5 Arnie movies. Really yawn-worthy label. Very dull. But great movie. Great film. What else?
Joe Goes Over says, I always hated those goddamn huge VHS boxes. My OCD wanted a shelf with smooth, flat, even tops.
Hey, it's alright, I split mine into X rental and rental. So,
Hey.
yeah, I get my little tapes down on one section and my big tapes on the other. Another one I haven't seen, and this one's probably going to shock some people, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Die Hard 2. Die Harder.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. I only saw
And
Die...
I know that like the kind of like your brand is very much like the obscure and random levels of movies, but damn man, these are, and I guess that we all have those mainline movies that, you don't necessarily see, but damn.
Here's the thing, I
These
mean,
are the classics.
I only caught the first Die Hard about 2 or 3 years ago for the first time. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I watched it a couple of nights ago and really enjoyed it as well. But yeah, Die Hard 2, I've had it sat in my collection for about 5 or 6 years. Just one of those where other things come up. For every time a Die Hard 2 could be watched, a bat pussy pops up to take its place.
Now here's the ultimate question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie for you?
I'm going to say circumstantially yes.
Okay.
Color Fox label and shiny.
Fancy. Very fancy.
I would put Die Hard as an unconventional Christmas film. I would say that if you were to ask me to recommend a Christmas film to you, I wouldn't recommend Die Hard because I don't think that it encapsulates what people want in a Christmas movie. But it is a Christmas movie, in my opinion, I would say. Chat, what do you think?
Just a couple. Let's see. Let's see. Apologies. James says Commando is excellent. Arnie got banned for using aimbot. He also says most of my tapes are small box. Kurt says, how can you die harder?
Well, unfortunately, Die Hard 3 got cancelled because it was called Die Hardest, and they couldn't close the coffin lid, unfortunately. So,
yeah, fair point. Joe says my very first VHS that I bought was back in the mid '80s from a rental store. $90 at the time, or close to $250 in today's money. Ghostbusters. It still plays after all these years. He actually does a really great video talking about the pan and scan of Ghostbusters, and highly recommend it. It's excellent.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then real quick, he says Die Hard 3 is greater than Die Hard 2, which is greater than Die Hard 1, which is greater than Die Hard 4.
Nice. Sound advice. I think that's a good way to live your life.
Absolutely.
I'm going to show you the greatest box art in my collection. This is the greatest box art that I own. It's called Armed Response. Confused Michael Berryman. Gun-toting David Carradine having a fag. Vietnam flashbacks. Chinatown down below. Cool colour work. It's a good film. It's fun. It's a nice little action movie. Is it groundbreaking? No. Is it everything you really want in one of those cheesy action movies? Yeah. I enjoy Armed Response. And like I say, confused Michael Berryman cover. Who doesn't like that?
Absolutely.
Busy box art. Busy box art. And also, please rewind sticker. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Just keeping it straightforward. The Exterminator. Just a man with a gun. Just a man with a gun on the box. And this is the cut version, unfortunately. There's two versions. There's floating around one with that certificate there and one without. If it's without, you get the uncut version. But Intervision, this was one that was notoriously bootlegged a lot. Mine is a bootleg copy, unfortunately. But hey ho, what can you do?
Let's see. Berryman doesn't like the gun sticking so close to his nose. Ooh, and David Carradine, how did they rope him into that? Joe says, your joke choked me up, Kurt. Joe says Red Letter Meter has a great line about him. He looks like a small child with a mustache. Oh, sorry. There's a question of if Ginty is in this, and then Red Letter Media has a great joke about that, or great line, looks like a little kid with a mustache.
Nice. Agreed on all counts. What else have we got? Okay, we have Game of Death 2, which I don't know how they made that because Bruce Lee died making Game of Death 1. So
You act like it's difficult. I mean, not that hard. You just use cardboard cutouts and people with masks and things like that.
I think Severin recently put this out on the Bruceploitation set that they did. I haven't seen this one, but I really do need to check it out. Also, original retail price for this when it first came out was $59.95.
Jesus. Holy shit.
$59.95 for a knockoff Bruce Lee film.
People were pining for Brucey, though.
You know what, though? Nice label.
That is nice.
That's a Sunset label. It looks a bit like a Visa card.
Oh, it's lovely.
It is.
Joe says probably starred Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, or Bruce Leroy.
You're all wrong. It was Bruce the Dragon Lee.
Oh my god!
Bum bum bum.
Yes.
I'm gonna do two back-to-back here that I'm gonna cheekily bill as films that I own the sequels to, but not the originals. So I own FX2 with Tom Bosley.
Ooh, nice.
You might actually kind of like this. Have you heard of the FX series?
I have. I've seen bits. I've not seen the full movie, either one of the full movies. So.
Well, for you guys at home, the basic plot of the film is that a detective teams up with a special effects artist to crack crimes, and he sort of uses the special effects wizardry to like get one over on the bad guys and crack the case and stuff. I've got them both on Blu-ray. I haven't checked them out. I hung on to this copy because I remember it being a trailer on the Terminator 2 VHS, and it always looked really bizarre, and I always wanted to check it out. So we have that one. Oh, and this one is another tape from Bond Street Video. Nice shiny label on there, and kind of subdued, but welcome. Nice feeling label. Good texture. Red strip. Love the red strip. I'm gonna need a moment alone with that red strip.
You know what? I was gonna say, man, keep the pornography to a minimum. This isn't a red band or a red triangle review. Oh, Joe asks, wasn't the plot of the Wizard TV show with Randall from the Time Bandits?
Possibly.
Wasn't that? Yeah, sorry.
I can believe that. I haven't seen the TV series of Time Bandits just yet, but yeah. And the other one, I'm not going to show the label on this one because it's really boring, and it's also a bootleg. This is Enforcer 2 by Cougar Video.
Ooh. How did that go again? So we get the round, but we don't get the hand in shot doing something to the tape. I'm disappointed. There you go.
It's got an arm like a Slim Jim. It's like Michael
okay,
Jackson.
that is. Joe says that's the most not Stallone I've ever seen.
I don't know if any Enforcer got a VHS release. Enforcer 2 definitely did, though. Back of the box has man staring at woman looking at explosion, whilst man with blood on his face stares at car.
That makes about sense, I think.
Yeah. All good. Random Charles Bronson movie, because who doesn't want a random Charles Bronson movie? This is Assassination, 1987 cinema release from the Cannon Films Group. Also
As he would
rank. Oh yeah. Haven't seen this one. It looks all right though. It looks like a standard Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and we get that lovely Sunset Rank Home Video label again.
Nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, Joe makes a
Oh,
good point. Nothing beats the Guyana redraw movie posters.
agreed. Agreed. 100% agreed. And this is another one from Bond Street Video.
Oh,
So
hey.
we're
He
getting a
gets
little
shot
name
every
for
time
ourselves.
that comes up.
Basically own half of his shop if he wants to come pick them up. Um,
At this point, he's probably retired to Guyana to help finance movie posters.
Man, the next tape I pulled out, I just heard everything I needed to hear, which was Charles Bronson and Wilfred Brimley in Act of Vengeance.
Act of vengeance!
Act of Diabetes.
Kurt says the VHS 2 tape reminds him of one tape that he's going to post about in the Discord that has red all over the top of it.
Very nice. I look forward to checking that out. I should point out, by the way, for the latecomers, I'm currently sat in a small cubicle going through these films. I've kind of boxed myself in with tapes. So I don't know how I'm going to end the stream. It'll probably be by tripping over and knocking all of my tapes over and smashing my DSLR. But is it? I'm trying to figure out, is it John Carradine or Eric Roberts?
In the background?
No, this guy here. Because it's clearly Bronson without a mustache, but they can't draw him.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like Hugh Grant from the new Heretic movie.
Possibly. Apparently this is a true story as well. But I don't believe that Charles Bronson did this. Video World. Video World, please rewind. Always nice.
There you go.
Boring label, but nice little Video World sticker there.
Yeah. Real quick, Joe says, "I'm surprised your video box art I'm surprised your video box art is surprisingly not sun bleached." He also says your tape says EP mode, Kurt. What the fuck? That has to suck to watch.
I keep all of my tapes in a hermetically sealed vault below my house. I have to have two people turn a key at the exact same time, and I have to do facial recognition in order to access them. So,
Kurt also says Eric Roberts that for the box art of that last one. Eric Roberts got stung by a bee and forgot the allergy medication. Joe says Eric Roberts probably in that film at some point. He is in all the other films ever made.
He is giving me Eric Roberts in the Doctor Who TV movie vibes.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
This one might do something for a certain generation of viewer on here tonight. We have Youngblood.
Ooh, hello. Why does he have like a 12-pack?
Because ooh. Ooh.
What the hell?
Ouchie.
Okay, Kurt says, Joe says password to Dan's vault is Malort. Kurt says, no, that's Triv's vault. And Kurt says, oh, I fucking love Youngblood.
I picked on a man's abs and he pulled a muscle in my leg in revenge. Ooh.
That's what happens when you build your house out of VHS tapes.
Ooh.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm on the recovery. Triv, win crowd back quick before the stream falls apart in violence.
How about them bears? Look at the 12 ab on this guy. Who wouldn't want to fuck that? Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Dan just grew 6 feet that day, and now he's by touching the abs of young blood stallion man. Look at back of box. Is that not pretty? He is ribbed for your pleasure. Ooh. Let's see. Joe says, is that supposed to be Rob Lowe? Jen says, for the woman's pleasure. Joe says, or was this pre-hamster Rob Lowe?
It is Rob Lowe. It is Rob Lowe.
What is pre-hamster? And I probably should know this, and I'm probably going to regret asking, but did he shove a hamster where the sun don't shine?
Wasn't that Richard Gere?
I thought it was. Oh yeah, that was maybe that was a hamster. It was either a hamster or a guinea pig.
So yeah, we have I'm now more or less recovered, but we will battle on. I got wounded during this stream. I got injured by Rob Lowe and his sexy 14-pack.
That's fair.
Oh.
So that was the rumor about Lowe for years, was that he had fun with a hamster.
But surely his
actually,
butt abs would have crushed it to death.
All we can do is hope.
Or was he one of these people who only worked on his pecs and arms, and like his lower half was just like soggy?
Chicken legs. Yeah, we can only hope. Let's see. Kurt says, I actually have that movie in a DVD set with Red Dawn and Roadhouse. Joe says it helps draw attention from all the underage sex he was accused of, having relations with a hamster.
Oof. So Night of the Juggler.
Hell of a transition there. I like it.
It's a film that I've wanted.
There.
I know, right? It's like screaming man with pipe, man who isn't really focusing on anything with gun, man whose arm is wrong with other man whose arm is wrong, holding other man, man watching Youngblood, seemingly.
Looks like a Guyana poster.
Oh yeah, it really does. The back of the box is just stills again. Yeah. I've wanted to cover this one for years again on the channel, but it's just one of those ones that always just misses the cut slightly. I'm gonna have to start tackling some more of these. The label on the film was so lazy it couldn't even put night of. It just put juggler. So I feel sorry for anybody who picked this up.
That's what they were hoping it would be known as eventually.
Hey, you seen Juggler? No. Yeah, me neither.
Kurt says James Brolin, the guy on the front of the box, looks like James Brolin, who looks like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, pretty much. Red Letter Media very briefly mentioned it, I seem to recall at some point. And that was what tipped me off to kind of prioritize it to review at some point, but again, I can't find it. There's 2 covers for the UK release of this, and I have the good one. There's a bad cover for this that just is shite. It's basically just a block colour with the words Night of the Juggler written on it. So,
what the hell? Joe says that is a tiny gun.
Teeny tiny gun. Well, it's not the size, mate. It's what you do with it.
Well, you're gonna shoot people eventually, I would assume.
Well, that would be the purpose of the aforementioned pew pew.
Yes.
High Mountain Rangers, which I can never really pronounce properly. I always want to go High Mountain Rangers.
You could also go High Mountain Rangers,
or you could go High Mountain Rangers.
What if you did the opposite way and did Rangers Mountain High?
Wow, that's a different. That's an adult label title, Trev. I can't cover that on my channel.
Could go the John Denver route, Rangers Mountain High, da 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 da.
Another one that I've picked up mainly for the channel, but I haven't got around to watching it yet. I've got so many tapes I need to dig out and watch. Slightly faded New World Roger Corman label. Another one from Bond Street Video.
Oh, nice.
I could basically open my own Bond Street Video at this point, quite frankly.
I think you should. Once you get everything settled at the house, you're in remodel mode. So go find yourself a storefront and just do that.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, it'd be amiss of me not to include a Wash title. So here is Chuck Norris with Road to Vengeance. Again, haven't seen this one, but it is a latter-day Chuck Norris film from Warner Brothers. So I imagine it's going to be a little bit wholesome, but there will be some arse-kicking going on. Where's a hat? That hat's photoshopped on, I've only just realised.
When in doubt.
They clippied a cowboy hat onto him.
Well, yeah, sometimes Chuck Norris can't wear a hat because his head is just that cool.
Because of Walker, Texas Ranger that they did that. Also, the old Warner Brothers label thing from last
Nice.
time. It's all right. It does the job.
Joe says Norris is doing the shimmy slide. Oh my god.
Trip, it's good to be back.
We missed you, man.
Riverbend, which is actually a very good film. Very good film. It's about a couple who move to a backwater sort of redneck state town, and they get racially profiled, and Steve James here raises a army against them, and it becomes a bit of a siege type situation, a bit like a Civil War type thing. It's a very good movie, very obscure. Not a lot of people have seen it. I did a review of it years ago, and I highly recommend you dig it out if you can. It is a genuinely, really well-made movie, and I seem to remember it might be canon, but don't hold me to that.
It's okay.
Yeah, genuinely just a fun...
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, genuinely a fun little movie. Really basic label, a little bit disappointing, but hey, can't be more.
That's okay. Joe says it's good to hear you, Dan.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like I say, I've been gone too long. I've really missed doing this kind of thing with you guys. Well, I say, doing this kind of thing, realistically, I'm just talking a load of bollocks with my good buddy Triv over here and occasionally flashing up tapes, which I don't do very often at all, but you get the idea. You get the idea.
Absolutely. Joe did ask, is that a latter-day blaxploitation film?
Possibly. It's kind of hard because it's not played for strictly exploitation purposes. It's more of a drama, an action drama than anything else. But I could say it does have roots in blaxploitation, certainly. It's worth checking out. If you can find a copy, it's worth watching. It really is. I had a good time with it. And finishing off box 1, we have Red Scorpion 2. I haven't got Red Scorpion, so I don't know what it's about. But it's got Dolph Lundgren in it, so I guess a win.
Is it like Red Sonja?
Possibly. They put the label on wrong again.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to write to my congressman.
I was gonna say. Let's see. Joe says it sounds a bit like it sounds a bit highfalutin for a canon film.
So I might be overstating the sort of intellectualism of it a bit, but it's kind of it tastefully handles racism in a way that makes you think, which might be a bit high concept for canon. It might be post Golden Globus. The version I've got is distributed by Prism Leisure, so I don't know, but if somebody can IMDb it, it's called Riverbend. There's a cover again of movies.
Real quick, James says you should see me after parties, post screenings on the server. I'm always guaranteed to flash at least one tape. One night I showed off my VCR working by showing the trailers on my tape of Cujo.
Ooh, good choice. Good choice. Right, I'll get the boring one out of the way, and I'm not going to show the tape because it's just a store-bought one that I happened to find in a haul, but it's the top of the box. This is box 2, by the way. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
I haven't seen it yet.
Do you have a dick in the box?
No, unfortunately, my dick is not in the box. But there is a deuce in here. Just going in your solarium, buddy.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but I don't see it anywhere. So either you're really good hiding or you're just a bullshitter.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Oh, fair point. Fair point.
So these are my sort of deeper cut tapes. These are the ones that are a little bit more pricey. All the stuff that you've seen up to now is kind of just ex-rental stuff, but this is like pre-certs, video nasties, things like that. Starting off with the Amityville Horror. This is the original first release of it from 1980. It was originally a pre-cert, but somebody stuck a sticker on to certify it. Really nice quality copy, rich colour.
That is nice.
and the tape itself is so sexy. We're back in that lovely gold shiny with a big important warning label on it. Came from VideoSafe. So,
Ooh.
yeah. Another Guild pre-cert there. Hang on.
Joe says it looks like the Monsters logo.
It's, yeah, pretty much. It's not that far off, but yeah, it's. I have the 4K as well from Vinegar Syndrome recently. So, yeah, looking good. Next, let's go for. I'll get the other shop bought tape out of the way. The Black Cauldron.
Ooh, nice. That's really pretty.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just the shop bought version. I remember watching it as a little kid, but I don't remember anything about it. It's been years. But I picked it up because I was like, oh, I might as well try and catch up on it again. It's fine. It's good. It's doing its thing. So yeah. What else we got? So
Real quick, Joe says, I'm not kidding. The scene where the chair is rocking and the creepy red eyes in the dark still gives me goosebumps. Not lying, literal goddamn goosebumps with Amityville Horror.
Oh yeah, nice. No, it's a very atmospheric film in places. I do agree.
And isn't that the movie that almost killed Disney's animation studio, as in the Black Cauldron?
Yes, it was. They had to cut a load of it. Originally, it was supposed to be like a young adult film, aiming more towards teenagers, and they had to cut a load of the sort of more excessive scenes out because they decided to repurpose it as an actual just kid film. So yeah, it took a hit. There's people out there still trying to recover the deleted scenes from the Black Cauldron to try and restore it back to its former glory. But yeah. So next up we have exquisite tenderness.
Ooh.
With Charles Dance. Clearly doing a Reanimator thing there, but yeah, it's fine. Again, it's just a kind of generic horror film. It'll probably be one I cover on the channel again at some point. Really sad,
Absolutely.
boring label.
Oh, that is sad. Holy shit. How does it feel?
It smells like woe.
Oh. Joe says, ooh, Charles Dance and Maxell Rental. That's a Walmart brand cassette.
Maxell Rental. Love it. Great.
James also said, this is back just a bit, I apologize. James says, I didn't much care for the Black Cauldron. I fucking hated Gurgi. I was disappointed he didn't die. Some animation cells are out there of the cut footage.
Ah, nice. Well, hopefully someday it might a scene or two may resurface with a bit of luck. This one isn't particularly rare, but it's one of the coolest box arts in my collection. It's Bloody New Year. I think we watched that on New Year's Day a few years ago over Discord, Triv, at some point. It was the one where the people get stuck on the island. It's the British film where they have the carny workers chasing them all the way through.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. The cool thing about the box art is it's actually got depth. Like it's a 3D box art, it pops out.
That would have been a pain in the ass to stack.
Oh, it's terrible really trying to keep it on my shelf because it's risen, you can't put it in with the other films because it'll just crush all this. And notoriously, copies of this film often have like the head and the text all smushed in because people have kind of crammed it on the shelf. Right. Label, but I love this film. My favourite fun fact about
it's ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. My favourite fun fact about this film is that however far you go back in this film's release history, the better quality it is, because they lost the film print for it. So the original videotape for it was directly struck from the film print, and it looks pretty alright, a bit fuzzy, but it's alright. Then for the DVD, they went back to the film print and found that it had been like really badly damaged. So it's like covered in
Oh.
mold and moss and stuff. And then they did a Blu-ray of it a few years ago, and it's even worse quality. So it's the only film where the further back you go, the better it looks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe says British horror film, bunch of people serving mushy peas and politely asking to kill each other? ?
Please, may I murder you? No, not today. Sorry. Okay.
And then James says Bloody New Year is so much fun.
Oh, so much fun. So much fun. I've got the 7-inch single of Recipe for Romance, which is the title theme song from that film. You'll probably see it in the vinyl stream that's coming up. But yeah, crazy fun movie. This is one of only 3 nasties that I own. It's Tenebrae.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
The original print in its original box. It's a personal favourite of mine. I got it for a stupidly low price. James, this might make your eyes water, but I paid £20 for this. I don't know how much it's worth now on eBay, but £20 for an original of this is, yeah, I'm quite blessed in that regard. I have this often on display.
No, it's what would make this cooler is having a red stripe across the top of the tape.
Ah, yeah. I'll do a shelf swap. I'll crack this one open and just get the red label going on it.
Nice.
Okay,
Joe says, I thought Tenebrae was the cat horror film, like animated. What the hell am I thinking of? Cat horror film.
Housu?
Maybe that's not animated.
Hmm.
So you're talking Giallo. I'm not sure. There's the one with the monkey, but that's not Tenebrae.
No. I'm gonna do some pre-search. I'm gonna save my other 2
Felidae. Felidae, James says.
Okay. I can't say I've heard of that one. No. I'm gonna get my goofy self out of the way. This isn't a pre-cert, but I really enjoy it. It's Garfield in Disguise, which you guys will know as Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Over here it's called Garfield in Disguise, probably to hide that it was a Halloween special, but it's nothing special. It's a store-bought tape, but I always have a soft spot for that special. I always watch it, and Triv very kindly sent me a DVD of all of Garfield's specials recently. Well, in recent years.
Absolutely. Just randomly, I didn't know you like Garfield, so that was actually one of those serendipitous things.
He's a big lazy cat who loves lasagna and generally eating. He's my spirit animal in many ways.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. What else we got? I'll go for a couple of these. So these are pre-certs. I've got Death Ship. The original release of Death Ship. Oh yeah, it's a cool video art, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's George Kennedy plays a Nazi for an hour. Again, it's if you've watched the Naked Gun films, it's hilarious. Yeah, cool little zombie down there. There's George Kennedy right there. This is a original pre-cert release from Thorny MI. Nice little basic box. Like heavy. These tapes are a lot heavier than your later releases. Plays great as well. It looks like it hasn't been played that much at all.
Nice.
This one is a special one for me as well. It's the pre-cert original release of Death Wish.
Let's see it.
Oh, hang on, what's happened here? Has my battery died? Let me just double check.
You're still going fine.
Oh no, I mean, has my DSLR battery died? Yeah, it's died. One second,
shit.
Ladies and gents. I shall just do a very quick battery change, and we'll be right back into the groove. Stay tuned.
Well, just to catch up, so Philomena was the one with the chimp, or Phenomena, it was the one with the chimp. Joe says the one thing that he's not scared. The one thing he's not is a scaredy cat. The one thing he's not is a scaredy cat. James says it's an adult animated film from the 90s. This is Felidae. Murder mystery featuring cats and I believe quite graphic. Kurt says, fun fact, Garfield is also from Indiana. Joe says, I have the book version of that. I had a big Garfield stage as a kid. He also says, Garfield is about an hour or so south of me. James adds, Lasagna Cat is also excellent. James says, I found a lot of 80s tapes and quite heavy, whereas in the late 90s and early 2000s, they're quite light. Hey, we're back! Woo!
Only minor technical difficulties on tonight's stream, ladies and gents.
If we didn't have technical difficulties, it wouldn't be a stream for you or me.
So this is the original Death Wish.
Nice.
It's the first release it ever got on tape, 1979, I think it is, or 78. It was originally in a carton, but somebody's cut it open to fit it into a video case, which in some ways has preserved it, but also technically ruined it.
Right.
But you know what? I like it. I think it's a pretty striking cover. So
very much. The red definitely sets it off.
Oh yes, absolutely. This one, probably UK folks will know what it is, but this one's called Nightmare Vacation. To you folks in the US, you may know. Yeah. To you folks in the US, you may know this as Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, okay, nice.
This is a heavily cut version of Sleepaway Camp that made it to UK shores because children murdering people or children being murdered is frowned upon in the UK very heavily. But yeah, the first one came out as Nightmare Vacation, and the other two came out as Nightmare Vacation 2 and 3. So, back of the box, nice. Really, really basic. Minimal certificate on there. Really basic labels as well.
You've talked about how Nightmare Vacation is, since it's so cut down, you kind of lose the gist of a lot of what happens.
Basically, it's not great. It's not great. I think I showed it on the Discord stream a while ago as an example of censorship of these things. Oh, one for right. Kurt here, if he's still with us.
He's still here.
We have the original release of The Warriors as well.
Nice.
So this is the very first one, came out in 1979. Immaculate quality, plays like it's never been played before, honestly. Really solid. Again, it's a carton release where they've cut the flap off on the other side so they can fit it in a case, but it's really good quality. It hasn't faded in any way, shape or form, which is quite nice.
Nice.
And again, awesome. Very stupidly heavy tape. Like, I feel like I'm going to strain with this one, honestly.
In terms of that, James says, if my tape of the keep wasn't tied down, it would float off. It's so light. It was released in 2000. I guess 80s tapes were made of better materials. I would wonder if the materials were just rejiggered and they were able, over time they became lighter, but still just as strong.
Probably. I think it was maybe chunkier plastic or something, or maybe it was like a thicker cast and they realised that they could make the cases thinner to sort of save money on plastic, because I imagine if you can skim a few millimeters off the case, you can reuse the plastic to make more tapes.
Right, very much so. Yeah. Joe says, all I know about the Warriors is David Michael Kelly and the bottles on his fingers.
Good scene. I've got the 4K now, so my VHS copy is formally retired, but I did take a digital copy of it, so I can watch that fuzzy VHS-ness if I want to, which is always nice. Nice. Great film. I should get the soundtrack, really, at some point.
Yes, you should.
This is probably one of my most cherished releases. It's probably not the most expensive one in my set, but it's the one that I love the most. And it's the original first release of Halloween 3.
Oh, that is a cool cover.
It's good.
Wow.
It makes me very, very happy. I got that by sheer chance for a really good price again, because nowadays it goes for stupid money, but it is cut compared to the actual modern day release. But I just love the cover so much, and the back of it's delightful as well. It's just a great tape. Good quality as well. Playback's really solid. Very heavy tape. I don't care if the label's boring. It's a great film. I love Halloween 3.
Absolutely.
Subsequently as well, whilst I'm here, I'll show you this as well. So in the 2000s, they reissued Halloween 3 with another version that is even more cut than that version. Yeah. And it's terrible quality as well. It's like basically a dub of this tape, like 10 years after this tape got dubbed, and they just, yeah. So the label is somehow even worse.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, going back a second, Joe says, "Oh shit! Now the song from the Warriors is stuck in my head." That's the real curse from that film.
Love it. Right, the next one I've got is a video nasty. It's a pre-cert video nasty called Visiting Hours, and it was William Shatner in a slasher movie set in a hospital. Dreary, properly dreary film. Very dull. Not a lot happens in it.
Also, I made a mistake. Joe was talking about the song from Halloween 3, not the song from Warriors.
Well, yeah. That just plays on a loop in my head all the time nowadays. Anyway, Visiting Hours. Yeah, I picked it up because it was a cheap, at the time, cheap second-class video nasty tape, and yeah, it's just kind of.
You can tell how much you like it because the fact it's not rewound.
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. Clearly. Apparently, this was the property of a company called Jack and the Beanstalk Video. So, Jack and the Beanstalk Video, you're welcome to it back.
Fair point. Let's see. Just real quick, James says, I believe Halloween 3 was the first DVD release of Halloween. I believe the first DVD release of Halloween 3 was uncut but pan and scan. He was dead gutted when he got Halloween 3 on DVD and found it was heavily cut. Ended up importing the US Blu-ray as it's uncut and region-free.
That was me. I was in exactly the same boat with that one. I picked up the Universal region-free cut, and then I eventually upgraded to the 4K Scream Factory version, which is just, my god, it's the best the film has ever looked. It's incredible.
Nice. Joe also asks, have you ever watched Shatner's Incubus? And never had the guts. Filmed in Esperanto, apparently.
I have heard of Incubus. I haven't seen it though. I'll have to dig it out at some point. Yeah, good rec. I'll look at that. It might even end up on the channel. If you want to come and review it with me, let's do it. We'll make it happen. Daft one to own in my collection. Very happy I own it. Extro.
Nice.
Again, that's first issuing of it, so it's where it all began. You know it's going to be good when it's got an alien on the front and a clown on the back. Great tape as well, really chunky, and it's got like the actual extra font for the film on both sides, and it's, yeah, I like that one. That one's a personal win for me. I'm quite happy with that one.
Real quick, John North says, I'm losing connection as the events I'm filming ended and I'm leaving the school. Hopefully this message gets to you. You already froze. Thanks for keeping me company in one ear. James says, Halloween 2 is shocking on DVD. It almost looks like VHS. Joe says, get Arnold Rimmer to guest host watching Incubus. James says, Extra is awesome. Joe says, my god, Miriam Diablo is so hot. James says, I have the second sight Blu-ray, and Joe says, my all-time 100% favorite Bond girl, which is Miriam Diablo.
Nice.
Anyway, whatever the... Yeah, sorry.
I feel like a lot of information was exchanged there.
Sorry. Just trying to get through the... I'm sorry, guys.
I suddenly feel like I'm speaking Esperanto. It's quite wonderful.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh. I have Charlie horse, but we will battle on. We will battle on.
Yay!
Um, right, okay. Let's do these ones. So, this one is called Living Nightmare. It's rubbish. It's a really bad film. I reviewed it on the channel a few years ago, and I had a really snoozy time with it. It's just dull. Nothing happens in it.
But there's a
There's a
cat in the
reason.
corner.
Right, okay. I actually broke this down. So the screaming woman, she's screaming in a dream, and that dream is 2 seconds of the entire film's runtime. The cat
Oh, for
is
God's
in
sake.
the cat is in the opening 30 seconds of the film, and doesn't do that. It just falls out of a window.
Joe says it looks like it's still from Real Housewives.
Basically this entire film's thing was like, how can we squeeze as many lies onto the front cover as possible? Terrible movie. Really basic label as well. Just ugh, no good. No good. Bad. Equally bad, Phantom of the Ritz.
Oh, but that looks so cool.
It does, and it's incredibly disappointing. It's kind of like a self-aware comedy horror, but the comedy isn't very good, and the horror isn't very good. So it just sort of fails on both counts. I'm trying to remember the plot line, but I think it's something like a couple buy a theatre called the Ritz, and they try and restore it back to its 50s kind of glory. And a kid who got injured in a screening accident in the 50s has been living in the theatre ever since. And the two stories don't interact until the very end. And then when it does, it's kind of just like a massive deflated letdown. There's kind of no point to it. It was just... Yeah, I reviewed it on the channel a long time ago. It's probably worth catching the review for it to save yourself an hour and a half. Because like, it's not really very easily accessible. And it's just not very good. There's a reason why it's kind of fallen through the cracks, being honest. There's the Phantom. It's good makeup, I will give them that. The makeup for it was quite good, but again, really cheap looking label. Not a lot going on there. So now we get into some nice stuff. So this is another Section 2 nasty that I have. It's the Bogeyman. In the US, it's called the Boogeyman. Again, nice, clean artwork, no fading. I got this for, I think it was £25 a few years ago. It's worth a bit more than that now.
Nice.
And again, quite basic labeling.
Yeah.
But,
and they're done that have the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Movie Emporium says, so many tapes. Kurt says, we got to see the trailer for Phantom of the Ritz during the Popcorn and Pain live stream on Friday. Joe says, when you're blue and you don't know where to go, why don't you go where the fashion sits? Joe says, Phantom looks like a Jell-O mold. I loaded up your review of Phantom of the Ritz, and Joe says, I thought bogey is what UK people called boogers. Or boogie is what UK people called boogers.
It is. I don't know why we ended up calling it that way. I mean, you would think that the US version would be the Booger Man, but no. It's, we have the Bogeyman, who is the big scary man, in the same way the Boogeyman is. If Halloween was made in the UK, it would be a very disappointing film, because the film would end with Jamie Lee Curtis saying, "What's the Bogeyman? Was that the Bogeyman?" And Donald Pleasance would go, "What are you talking about? Go away." So this one is probably the most expensive film in my collection. Certainly the most expensive tape in my collection. But it is a nice one. It's the original first release of The Evil Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. Really minty, nice looking front cover, no sun damage on any of it. It's really nice. I'm very grateful. There was a guy on a VHS aficionados forum who collected copies of this. He had like 50 of them. And I said to him, it's one of my grail finds. I would love to own this film. And he basically let me have it for like a really good price. I think it was like 45, £50. Like nowadays, it's double that easy. And it's one of the latter day prints. It's not exactly like because the fun fact about the Evil Dead is the label had different colours depending on which run it was. Mine is a latter day run. It's one of the last ones, but they had a red label for second run and a yellow label for first. But yeah, it's a really good condition copy. It plays really well. It comes in the original Palace Video embossed box, which you can't really see on the stream, but yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
I usually put it on display.
Joe says, "Holy shit, that's like a holy grail."
It's yeah, it really makes me quite happy, honestly. So yeah, I would like to say I put it on display in my room so people when they come in can go, oh shit, is that an original Evil Dead? And I go, oh well, yes, it is, boys. We're coming up to about halfway through the second box, but I think I'm going to have to call it before we get on to box sets, unfortunately, just because it is nearly 2 o'clock in the morning where I am. So we'll finish tapes tonight, and then we may have to do box sets some other time in the week if you're around, Triv, that is.
Absolutely. Joe says your VHS player or your VCR is probably says, "I swallowed your tape" when you play that one.
Very much so. Very much so. I'm gonna do the adult films that I have on tape because I can't show the covers because they're naughty.
Really? Oh, come on. Come on.
They're genuinely, some of them are a little bit too explicit for YouTube. So I have
for educational purposes.
Well, true. So I have Emmanuel 2. The cover art is a lady with her boobies out, so I can't really show that.
Can you describe the feel of the tape, though? We need the sensual meaning or the sensual feel.
It feels a bit sticky. I'm not actually. Oh dear. I'm going to put that sticky tape somewhere else.
Put it on the sticky desk.
Yes, absolutely. Then there is this one for a film called Serpent Slayer. I can't show this one because it has a woman in a string bikini.
Oh my god.
I know, it's a softcore Skinamax type film. I reviewed it a couple of years ago. It's an enjoyable enough film. But yeah.
Real quick, Joe says, "Oh God, the Emmanuel films, total mainstay of '80s Showtime after hours." Kurt says, "Stickier than Dan's desk after that one live stream," and Joe says, "Sylvia Christel, I think that's her name? Question mark.
It is indeed.
Yes, good job, Joe.
Top of the class. In fact, if I can find it, I will show you ahead of time. I do also own, and I can show this. Oh no, I can't show this one. It's got boobies. I'll show you the back of the box, because I don't think there's any boobs there. I have the original Emmanuel on VHS as well. This is the original release of the first Emmanuel film. Cool. And you know the film's going to be good, because it's got Emmanuel on black label. Sensual.
Ooh. Very sensual. I mean, I'm turned on.
This is probably one of the oldest tapes in my set. It's the one that I can officially copy. It's 79. I can't show the front cover, like I say, because there's... Maybe if I... Meh.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
What says the fact that I can rattle off her name should tell you how much I paid attention to those films in 1980s Showtime after hours.
Hey, you know what? It was an education for all of us, man. This one I can show, but I can't show the back of the box. It's called Sex and Zen. It's a sort of tokusatsu film. It's a strange movie, very strange. Kind of crazy.
I like the lines.
Yeah, kind of crazy in a Dragon Lives Again kind of way.
Okay.
But fun, very surreal film. Cool. Finishing off, I'm gonna have to Maybe I can palm it. Can't show the back of the box because it's got a naked lady on, but... Oh, Tinto Brass's All Ladies Do It.
Nice.
Which is quite a hard tape to find. It took me a good 7 years to try and get a copy of this, which is weird because it's
And I
not...
think we lost your audio.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm not sure what happened. I think we lost you.
Am I back again?
Oh, you can hear him? Maybe it's just me?
Let me just check something,
Hey.
guys. Don't you die on me, Trev. We're not done yet.
Go ahead and keep going, Dan. I'll try and catch up.
Oh, let's have a look. So how you guys doing? I can't see the comments. Let's have a look. How you guys doing? Just bear with us 1 second.
What happened?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Dan?
Hello?
Let me try and leave.
Okay. Well, whilst Trev has gone, we'll round up our tapes over here. Now, unfortunately, I can't see any of the comments, guys, so I can't really respond to much, but we'll see how we get on. More naughty adult films, I think, is probably on the cards, because I can't really
there we go.
show you anything
There we
else.
go.
Oh, you're back and working?
I'm
Fabulous.
not sure what the hell happened. I'm so sorry.
Hey, no trouble at all. No trouble at all. Right, so I'm going to blast through some of these.
It was my potato being the potato, so apologies.
Hey, patat's gonna patat, you know what I mean? Woo!
Yep.
Down I go. So, I can't show the cover on this one, but I can show the back. It's Caligula Erotica, which is basically somehow a Caligula porn parody. I don't know how that works, honestly. I've seen it before, I still don't know how it works, honestly, but...
It's not associated with Caligula, the movie Caligula, correct?
Not at all.
Okay.
Cheapo label. But yeah, it's the front cover has a lady with one of her bristles out, so I can't show that one. Then there is Liquid Dreams, which I can show the tape, but again, there's boobs aplenty on the cover for that one. I reviewed that on the channel not too long ago. It's a very strange, it's like a steampunky film, kind of a cross between. It's weird. It's very heavily embedded with the Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Okay.
Joe S., do you have any of the Happy Hooker films?
I do. I think I have the Happy Hooker Goes Hollywood somewhere. It might pop up on a future stream. But yeah, and I can't show either of these, I don't think. I'll show one of them because I can show the back. I have 11 Days and 11 Nights 1 and 2, which are both steamy erotic thrillers. But on both covers they have a completely nude man and a completely nude woman. So, yeah.
This is nature intended.
Bada bing, bada boom. Also, nasty printed bootleg label for both of them. Not great. I think that's all my adult titles done, so we can just get back to the good stuff now.
Oh, real quick, Joe says, holy shit, that's awesome. A late friend of mine actually dated the Happy Hooker back in the day.
Really? God damn, that is a pretty decent call in fairness. Congrats to that guy. Blimey. Right, what else have I got here? So we're kind of coming up to the end of this now, unfortunately. I've got a copy of The Worst Witch.
Is that erotica as well?
No, this is a young kids film for babies. It has Tim Curry in it, which probably does mean it's technically an erotic film, but...
Fair point. Zavarina Hollander was a huge cougar, apparently.
Wow. I could believe it. I could believe it.
It was when my friend worked for Penthouse, I believe. And James says it's U-rated eroticism.
It's you
For
rated
the
for
worst.
rated for urology, as in you'll need to have your waterworks checked after seeing this film. Know what I'm saying? What?
Cheeky.
Oh,
Careful.
Triv, it's one of your favourites.
Oh God.
It's Day of the Panther with Jason
Oh!
One Punch Blade.
Okay, everybody take a shot.
Ugh. Blade, Jason, Blade,
God
Blade,
damn it.
Jason Blade, Deuce Solarium.
Okay, I have to work tomorrow, and so do you. So just calm your tits. I don't have Malort, James. So if I did, I would have to take it, and yeah, I'd rather do that than Death Sweets, but still.
You know, the long-lasting memory of that night was after the stream. I remember you spending an ungodly amount of time ordering a burger online, and we were kind of post stream. We were both just kind of chilling, a bit tipsy, and I just remember it taking you literally like 45 minutes to order a burger and fries.
Their ordering system was fucked up when I was drunk. I couldn't help it, man.
It was a good night. That was a really fun night. We should do something like that again. We have still got Striker the Panther if you're ever interested in doing another drinking stream.
Oh yeah. I tell you this though, I'm never doing Death Sweets again. That fucked up my teeth something fierce.
Yee, fuzzy. We don't like. I'm
And
gonna get
yeah.
a couple. I'm gonna get a couple of sell-throughs out of the way. So these are retail tapes that don't really have any significance to them. I've just got them because they're here, and then we'll go on a final push of some really good hitters.
Nice.
So I've got Breaker Breaker by Chuck Norris. I haven't seen it, but Chuck looks angry, so I look forward to seeing him do his thing with his beard at some point in the
I mean,
future.
he is one mean mother trucker.
He is indeed. He is indeed. Yeah, the tape is just a generic white label again. Then we've got Mel Gibson in Attack Force Z. I don't know what's going on in that film. It's released by a company called Midas, but they can't even get gold right. It looks like hay, so who knows?
Very true. Real quick,
Seal of
Joe
quality.
says, "Oh yeah, the absolute seal of quality." Joe says, "Oh yeah, their system was broken when you were drunk." Yes, their system was drunk, or their system was broken. And then Kurt says, "Chuck Norris doesn't have a beard in Breaker Breaker."
Does he not?
The front of it lied to us.
You're right. He
also-
doesn't. Look in the back of the box. He's
Oh my
completely
God.
shaved, man. They lied.
Holy shit!
He's even on the
There's
spine
also a
with the
random
beard.
foot there.
Yeah.
Why is there a random foot?
Oh, it's Chuck Norris is doing a roundhouse kick.
Oh, okay, got it. Also Joe says, "What the fuck, Sam Neill too?"
Sam Neill
I'm
too.
not sure. Oh, in that one, yeah, it is Sam Neill.
It is indeed. Blimey. I'm gonna have to cover this one at some point. The
Yes,
back
you
of the
are.
box just has a man shooting at something and another man being shot. Alright. Fair enough. Right. Then we have Firepower with the most epic name I've ever heard in my life, Chad McQueen.
Ooh, and he's doing a JV John Claude Van Damme splits pose there too.
I wonder if Chad McQueen got his name by doing the Big McLarge Huge.
We can only hope.
You know, the Buff Strixon, the Meat Cleaver Punch.
Last hard cheese.
Yeah. Again, these are all ones I haven't actually seen at the minute. I picked them up. I kept them mainly to review at some point. I can't show the back of this box, but I think it's the last sell-through I've got. And it's Flesh and Blood, starring Rüdiger Hör.
Ooh, looks interesting.
It's kind of like a nightmare, Knight mare.
I gotcha.
It's interesting. Again, I kept a hold of it because I'm a big Rutger Hauer guy. I enjoyed films like Blind Fury and The Hitcher and stuff like that. So hopefully this one will be fun. And it's an 18, which means there could be nudie boobies, which I'm always there for nudie boobies. So
Joe says Hauer is one of those actors that always thought someone was that I always thought was so much bigger than he actually was. And that's what she said.
Lol. Right, we're going to rush through a few more sell-throughs and then we'll do a final push and then we shall wrap things up for the night, gents. And I do apologise we didn't get around to box sets, but we will make sure that happens. So I have a Canon film here called White of the Eye. I don't know anything about the film. I saw the title and it was going really cheap and it's an ex-rental, so I thought, well, I'll pick it up and see what it's about. I haven't got around to it just yet, but it looks fun.
It does. It's got neat cover art.
Really generic label though.
Yeah.
Do
better, rentals.
Rentals need to have better labels. They need to have shiny explosives, things that make my ADHD brain go prrr. One for the weirdest box arts in my collection. This one is just called Women in Cages.
Oh God.
But her face isn't drawn right. She's got one eye looking up and one eye looking at you. So it's like...
Well, see, that's what happens when you have spent too much time in a cage.
They never did a sequel, Men in Cages, but...
or Women in Cages 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, I remember this one. So this one's also really heavily censored. It's like got 15-20 minutes missing or something like that because James Furman didn't like women being beaten up in any way, shape or form, which, I mean, I don't like women being beaten up, but I wouldn't cut a film short because of it. It's got like entire scenes removed.
Really?
Like really badly as well. It just like bluntly cuts from one scene to another and like 10 minutes are missing. And then there's this...
real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, Kurt says, "Oh, I love the women in prison subgenre," and Joe says, "Women in cages must have come after they used all the better titles."
Absolutely. Well, it stars the Pam Grier, so you better believe that they put all of their efforts into making this the best damn movie they could possibly make for no money in a backlot somewhere.
Joe actually asked, Downtown Judy Brown or the other Judy Brown?
I'm going to say yes.
That's the best answer.
Yeah. And then the last of my sort of bog standard ex-rentals is this one, Jet Li's Black Mask, which I know absolutely nothing about other than I won it in a competition. And I say I won it in a competition, basically a Facebook group I'm in started tagging members in and saying, if you haven't responded in our group in the last few months, we're going to kick you, but if you respond in the next 20 minutes, we'll give you a free tape. And I did, and they sent me this. Apparently it was worth 89 quid when it was new.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. It's sat on my shelf for ages. I keep meaning to put it on at some point. Haven't done it yet. Maybe next year. Who can say? Also, slightly generic tag, with $88.74 being the price of this tape.
Wow.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. Final push, guys. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tapes left, and then we will call it for the night. So I've got another Australian tape here, The Relic.
Ooh. Nice.
I don't know if it's any good, but it looks interesting, and apparently it was made from the director of Time Cop. So there's your sign of quality right there.
Hey Dan, some things are better left undiscovered.
But yeah, it's certainly a movie. Oh no.
Oh no, what?
The label for the tape is just a legal advisement. It doesn't even have the name of the film on it. It's just a disclaimer saying not for resale.
Wow, they were really hardcore about that. That's why Relic is such a well-renowned movie.
You know, it's the film that Roger Ebert once said, what? Oh, this is one that I've been meaning to cover on the channel as well for the longest time, just because of the box art being what it is. I don't know anything about it, but just the box art just sold me on it. Wendigo.
Ooh.
It's
why is he snotting all over a helicopter?
So his bogies are rocket launchers, and he blew up a helicopter. Apparently, it's something like. Have you ever seen Winter Beast?
Yes.
Apparently, it's a bit like Winter Beast, but I don't know anything about it other than that. So I'm kind of looking forward to checking it out at some point.
Real quick, James says, I believe Ozzy's tapes have the copyright bullshit on the top label and the title is on the side.
Let me double check that to confirm.
Absolutely. And Joe says, I don't think that the Len Kaczynski's film, the Wendigo one.
Oh no, it isn't. It isn't. And James, you get a biscuit. It is indeed on the side.
Nice. Good job, James.
Nice, nice. Winner, winner.
Acorn dinner.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, boring label. Ugh.
Oh, come on. Wendigo, you should be better.
Our best days are behind us, Triv. I miss the days where we'd get these lovely sunset labels or shiny labels.
Hey, you don't know what's coming yet. There could be some redeeming. We are at the end. We are closing in on the end of your VHSs, so you know you can only do what you can do.
7 tapes left, and we are going with Nightlife.
Ooh, that's cool.
Do love that cover. Very striking. Very striking.
It's awesome. Everything you need to know right there.
Oh yeah, sums it right up. I get it. I think I picked this one up for the channel, but it's a heavy tape, and it's another one from Bond Street Video.
Ooh, nice.
Who are subsequently sponsoring this video now, through time. They're going to send me 25 pence every hour.
Woohoo!
Mm.
Let's see. Real quick, it looks similar to Love at First Bite, according to Joe. James says, although my tapes are British, I have a few imports on DVD and Blu-ray, but not VHS.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Well, hopefully, your collection will grow over time, man. I mean, this has probably taken me at least 15 years, 10, 15 years to sort of amass, so it's, it's one where, you start off with nothing, it goes inch by inch.
Which is saying something, because Dan is only, 20 years old.
Yeah, I'm like 15 years old. I'm like 10 years old. I am baby, hear me roar. The Stepfather, the original X-Rental release for it, very nice. Little chip off the top of the tape, but I can't hold it against him. I've not seen the Stepfather films, but I've heard they're very good.
They're good things, yeah.
Very cheap, flimsy label. Nice heavy tape though, given that it's kind of a late 80s release. Yeah, it's nice. It's weighty. I feel like I could bludgeon someone with this quite,
That's why the upper corners has a chip, is because it was used as a bludgeon.
It is indeed. So I've got a stack of 4 tapes here that I think everyone will kind of appreciate. I'm going to save those, but for the next one, it's Massacre at Central High, which a lot of people seem to really like. I didn't. It was a little bit too Columbine-y for my taste, which I know is called Massacre at Central High, so kind of to be expected. But like it tries to make the bad guy in the film a bit too sympathetic. I don't know. It's like
Chandler from Friends. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I had to get that out because.
No, absolutely. No. But yeah, it's had a Blu-ray release recently, and it's got a bit more of an acclaim behind it. But I don't know. There's just something about the way they write the characters that doesn't sit right with me. They make the shooter in the film, or the bomber in this case, like a kind of quite likable person. And they even when he's like announced that he's the bomber, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, but you're awesome though. It's like, what? Maybe let him do a little school shooting, just a little one.
Oh yeah, a couple off the top.
Yeah, boring label, unfortunately. Yeah, not not as good. And somebody's written on the back numbers 1472. So if I've just spoiled your pin number, well, I don't really
You
care.
know what? That's the same number that's on my luggage.
Ooh. Well, there you go then. If you take that tape to any American Airlines, they'll recover your bags for you.
Hooray!
Yeah. This one's a cool one. I quite like this, and we've got 3 tapes left. It's the original release of Return of the Living Dead.
Ooh.
Mmm.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It's a little sun damaged. It used to have a lot richer colours. It used to be a lot darker, but trying to get a replacement sleeve for it nowadays is just ridiculous. So I haven't even bothered. But yeah, it's a nice little tape to own, and it's really good quality tape as well. It plays back really well. Also, very sexy Vestron label. Don't even care it's the wrong way round. Shiny, shiny.
It is. Yeah, it's really rich.
It is. It's got a proper darkness to it. Very burgundy, and the box itself is a burgundy box.
Oh, cool.
Sits nice with it. So we got the.
Joe says they. Joe says they had a naked Linnea Quigley in their film, and that's what they choose for the cover.
Oh yeah, yeah. You see, unfortunately in England, naked Linnea Quigleys are punishable with a £10 fine.
It kind of looks like something you'd see with like Felix the Cat a bit, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It kind of has that Ralph Bakshi thing going.
No, agreed. I don't really know why they came up with that artwork because all of the other US releases don't use that artwork, but I think that this is technically better than the US releases artwork because the US release is kind of a play on the American Gothic, the painting.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think that this is a little bit more lively.
Fair point. James says Vestron, who became first independent, always had the labels on the side. A lot of American tapes have the labels sideways because of the card sleeve.
See, we're laughing and learning tonight, ladies and gents. Next up, I'm sure I've actually got a couple more tapes lying around somewhere, because I am certain that I'm missing at least one that I know of. We'll go for Hellbound Hellraiser 2, the original release of that one. It looks gorgeous in VHS quality. It looks amazing at both extremes. 4K and VHS is stunning on it, honestly.
It is sharp.
And it was the same company that put out Nuki, so they really did have such sights to show us.
But did Miko have such sights to show us?
He did. He had Nuki's big, bald bollock head.
James says, I'm such an autistic nerd, can you tell? Dude, your knowledge is fantastic and we love you for it.
You're in the company of friends here, my friend.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. So that was Hellraiser, and one of the cooler releases that I own is this one, the original release of Halloween 4, in its nice box. I wanted to try and get a VHS copy of Halloween 5, but the cost of it is so expensive, and I hate Halloween 5 with a passion. So I was kind of sitting there like, well, do I really want to spend that much money on a tape that I probably will never watch just so I can have Halloween 1 to 5 on video? I decided against it in the end. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little, again, the Scream Factory release of it, the 4K that they did, is amazing. They really did a good job on it. And this came from a place called Video Box Office. Label's on the wrong way again, but...
For a second, I thought you said Video Bollocks Office.
Oh yes, the Video Bollocks.
James says, did you hear the story about VHS copies of Hellraiser showing up on top of a bus stop somewhere in London?
I did, yes, and somebody took it down and then somebody went back and put another copy up there. Which is great. It's great.
It must maintain balance.
Oh yes. For every yin there must be a yang.
Yeah.
And this is my last tape. I know for a fact I'm short a few because I also have a copy of Friday the 13th Part 2 somewhere, but I don't know where it's gone. but my last tape tonight is Friday the 13th Part 3. And this is the original release of it that came out sometime after 1983. Original price was £43 to buy this tape. But yeah, it's in pretty minty condition. The tape plays back lovely. Very heavy cart. Again, bit of a slightly dull label. £43.08 to take this home tonight. And I think I got it in a haul that cost me £5.
Wow. Joe asks, is that the one with Crispin Glover?
No, that's part 4.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I tried to collect the Friday the 13th films for a time, but they all got so expensive. The price just shot up really, really quickly. I think I had part 1 to 3, and then 4 was a little bit out of my price range, and then 5 to 8 have just gone up and up and up and up over the years, to the point that I just can't grab them really anymore. But yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I'm sorry we didn't get around to box sets. We'll have to put together a little mini video to do those at some point. But we're hoping to do more streams like this through the week. So thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate everybody coming in. It's been a long time since I've done something like this, so it's been really nice to just be able to chill. Thank you so much, Triv, for joining me tonight. Yeah. It's been very much appreciated, and I know most of the folks here know where to find you, but for anybody who's just stumbled on this video in the wild, could you tell people where you're from and where they can find you?
Well, just real quick, both James says it was fun. Joe says this was a nice surprise. Thank you. Kurt says it's good to hear from you. Dan, later all. You can find me here. I'm on the 2D plane in Trivial Theater here on YouTube. I do random, obscure, and straight-up bad movies. Dan and I have collabed a fair amount with more in the future. So, yeah, definitely and show me some love, but make sure to show some of the other folks some love that were in here tonight. Joe Goes Over was in chat. Movie Emporium. We talked about Raymond H. Smith. I can't think who else. But yeah, lots of good folks.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jonathan J. North podcast. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of their channels. And if you look at the chat, their links were in there. So make sure to show them some love, and make sure to like the video, and make sure to show this guy some love because he's back, and we're so happy to have you back, man.
It's good to be back, man. It's like I say, it's been so awesome just being able to hang with you guys tonight. It's been so long. And hopefully, it won't be anywhere near as long ever again. So, thanks for joining us tonight. As always, do come back, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we'll probably see you later in the week. So, thank you all once again.
Be kind.